Hello everyone, my name is Brian Akeem. Welcome to my 130th live stream. Today is December 26th. I hope you all had a great Christmas. Wherever you guys are, whatever holidays you celebrate, I hope you all had a good one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait for some people to show up. But yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday right now. So like I said, I hope you all had a great holiday, Christmas. And I will this is sort of free for all, but it's also going to be discussing the future of The Walking Dead, as you can see by the title and the thumbnail. So let's see if we have any comments in the chat. All right, so I guess one thing I'll explain is, okay, what do I mean by the future of The Walking Dead? So, wait a minute, did I go live? Hold on. Broadcast. Start recording. Yeah. All right. So what exactly did I mean? Okay. So with The Walking Dead, there's just so many different properties and stuff, and it's one of those things where you have to ask yourself, how much of The Walking Dead is, like gonna work in the future and not gonna work. Like there's Tales and there's other like Tales has Tales has been canceled. Fear the Walking Dead is terrible. World Beyond ended. The main show ended. Dead City, I don't think people are that excited for it, and yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about the future of The Walking Dead? Because to me, I don't know about the future of this franchise because I would like to think it's going to be, good. I want to be positive, obviously, but I don't see how it can be because there is just so much that's left out in the open. There's so much we don't know about. Like, like the Rick and Michonne series, only being one season. That is a big one. Like, how in the heck are you going to do Rick and Michonne's story in just one season? You know? One second, guys. Hey, Josh. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you. Um, yeah. So, okay. So, The Walking Dead. One thing I want to see in The Walking Dead future is like I want to see the Commonwealth, Portland, and the characters, everyone joining up together and fighting the CRM. Like I want to see that, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get that. You know what I mean? Like when are we ever gonna see the World Beyond characters ever again? Like are we gonna? There's so much that's left out in the open with The Walking Dead. There's so much that hasn't really been explained, established. Like even the Rick and Michonne show. How many seasons could they possibly? Um, how many seasons does it need? Because I think it needs at least two, but it's only going to get one season. How many seasons is Dead City going to have? How many seasons is Daryl in France going to have? There's just so much right now that's like I don't really know with this franchise because there's just so much that yeah, I mean, like I said, we don't know about this franchise, like where it's going. Um, yeah, and we don't know where the Walking Dead franchise is going. It's kind of tough to say because, like I said, Fear the Walking Dead is complete trash. Obviously, um, so yeah, Fear the Walking Dead is garbage. Like season 8's probably going to be terrible too. Um, and Tales, like I don't think it's getting a season 2. And for those of you excited for Dead City, like I'm glad you guys can like it. But me, I don't really understand the point of Dead City, and also I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think Dead City is gonna be a good show. Because one of I have seen some like promotional shots or whatever. Why does the city look so clean, even though they're supposed to be in the apocalypse? Like that's one problem I have already with the show. Is like it doesn't visually look good. You know what I mean? Like it kind of looks like look at Dead City, and it's like that kind of looks like Fear. It still kind of looks like it's in Fear the Walking Dead. Um, One second, guys. Um, yeah. I'm just trying to. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, just please ask me. Um, because I will take. um. Oh wait. How do I join the call? On my. One second. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to get a guest, and will you cover the Last of Us TV show on this channel? That's a good question, Josh. Do you want me? Do you guys think I should cover the Last of Us? Hey, Chosen. What's up, man? You there?
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. How was your holiday?
good.
Good, good, awesome, awesome, man. Glad you enjoyed it. Spent time with family and everything.
No, but
Oh,
yeah,
oh, sorry to hear that. Um, okay. Well, thank you for coming, man. And I hope this time was, convenient for you, um, this is an earlier time for my normal streams, and um, yeah, man, I appreciate you stopping by, really appreciate it. Because it seems kind of quiet right now.
yeah.
Um, so okay, so this stream is kind of like, wait, sorry. This stream is kind of going to be going over like the future of The Walking Dead, um, Boxing Day. Um, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that, Chosen. So, this stream is like the future of The Walking Dead, and this is something that I'm very curious to see in the Walking Dead franchise, but I don't know how confident I am because the thing is that um, with The Walking Dead, I don't really see what the future is. You know what I mean? If it was like, oh, if you told me years ago that, oh, the future was going to be fear characters, world beyond characters, and main show characters, and CRM, Commonwealth, Portland Battle, Walking Dead Endgame. If you told me that, I would have been excited. I would have been through the roof. I would have been like, oh, that is awesome. I cannot wait for the future. But but it looks like the future is just, oh, Daryl in France, Maggie and Negan in New York, and just like one season where we're gonna get Rick and Michonne, but we might not get a satisfying ending to not only those characters, but that CRM arc, and everything, and then yeah, and with Fear, don't even get me started. Fear, yeah, like I don't know what the future is for Fear. I'm surprised it's still going. Um, so like, yeah, man, like, what do you think about that?
Uh, for what it is, I guess it's fine, but yeah, it's definitely not as good as it could be.
Yeah, wait. So you think the future is fine, like for The Walking
I mean,
Dead?
like, I don't personally like, I don't care that much anymore.
Oh,
Like, it's annoying, but I don't really, I don't think about it every single day. How all the missed opportunities or anything.
um,
I honestly barely think about the Walking Dead franchise, other than like maybe the comics. But other than that, I don't really think about the Walking Dead franchise.
yeah. I know what you mean, man. I just want to see that kind of comic ending brought to life. Like, can you imagine if like Judith is like living on a farmhouse, she has her own child, and like we see that like, oh, not only do the characters have trains, like they because they defeated the CRM and they formed an alliance with the Civic Republic. Now certain people, now they can use helicopters here and there, and there's no more zombies, like large herds. There's still new zombies, obviously, but it's like, I don't know. I just like I want to see that happen. But like I don't need to see that ending now. You know what I mean? Like I get it. The Walking Dead, it's like, okay, they want a couple more years. I could understand doing a couple more years, but like you they can't stretch out them finally doing that ending like 10 years from now or something like that, because it's just not going to work. Andrew Lincoln and Denai, they have what, maybe 1 year left of this franchise. And some people think, oh, The Walking Dead does not need Rick Grimes, uh, like the continuation of the franchise. And like, I heavily disagree with that. I feel like you can't end The Walking Dead without Rick, both the main show and the franchise. With the comics, it worked because it was like, oh, well, that was just one issue without Rick. You know what I mean? Like, and it was Carl. He was older, and
Yeah.
we got to see why Rick wasn't in that issue because one, he's dead, but two, we got to see his legacy. You know, and it's like, okay, yeah, that works, but Rick's not gonna have a legacy in the Daryl show, in the Maggie Negan show, like Fear, like Rick has no impact. You know, um, so I just don't know what they're gonna do. And like, yeah, like if some people want to see The Walking Dead without Rick, there's the Telltale games. You know what I mean? Like that works. Like Rick is not involved in that story. But when you started like the AMC Walking Dead with Rick, I feel like you can't just move past him because it's disrespectful. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah. But
Speaking of the like whole comic ending where like Carl's reading to like his daughter and everything about like the basically just the story of The Walking Dead. So I read in one of the letter hacks for one of the comics that someone was saying like, oh, do you think this is or they were talking like Robert Kirkman and they said something along the lines of like, do you think this is like will it end in just like someone like reading a story of The Walking Dead to another person? Like in the book, basically like exactly what happened, and Kirkman's like, no, that won't happen.
oh, that's funny. Um, that's funny. It's like, oh man, he got exposed. um,
Yeah.
One second, guys. Yeah. So Josh asked if I can cover The Last of Us. Do you yeah. So I'll ask you, Walker Dead and Chosen. Do you guys think I should cover The Last of Us? Next year, at the beginning of next year on my channel. Um, like, you know what I mean? Like, would you guys care to see my reviews or like do streams about it? Like, would you guys care? You know what I mean?
Um, I watched the like if there are videos, I've watched the videos. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but like if it's like a stream, you might just stop by for a second, like, but that's it.
Well, yeah. The stream is depends on if I have time because I'm not gonna sit, for every like if the stream is like an hour long, I'm not gonna sit and watch an hour long. But if I'm like in the stream, then sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know, just I don't really mind either way. It depends what you want. I'm gonna be covering The Last of Us, but
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Um, all right. And okay, so he asked me, I don't know, I think he's Josh is asking me what I got for Christmas, but you can answer too, Chosen, if you want. So I got myself some, okay, well, my mom gave me a jacket that I took to caroling. It was very warm, but actually not massive, you know what I mean? So it was a very well done jacket, kept me warm and stuff, and not like bulky or anything. Like it was pretty decently sized. And I also got myself some Legos. Um, and I'm also getting myself a new phone because my phone crashed, and this was not planned. So I went on Amazon and got like a $200 phone, and yeah. So I should be getting that in like a week or so because yeah, my phone crashed and I need a new one. Okay. Um, And yeah, Walker Dead. Yeah, thank you again for leaving the like, man. I really appreciate it. How was your Christmas, Brian? It was pretty good. I went caroling. My phone glitched though; it crashed, so there was that issue I had. I really hated my phone during the Christmas, so it was kind of ruined partially because of that. Because like I couldn't even make calls and stuff. Like my phone just crashed. No, don't cover The Last of Us games. Oh no, I meant the show Walker Dead. Do you think I should like talk about the show here and there? Like do like I don't know if I'll do an every episode review. I might do like a live stream for like 2 episodes and then like I might do a review um on like it so far, like kind of thing, like a 10-minute review. So I don't know. I might do that if you guys want. Which group of three did you enjoy most? Daryl, Carol, Michonne one from season 9 to 10, or Daryl, Carol, and Maggie one from season 11? Wow, great question, Josh. Let me see. What did I enjoy more? Daryl, Carol, Michonne, season 9 to 10. Gosh, they're both good. I think here's the thing. I think Daryl was better though in season 9 to 10. Like, I think he was better. Carol was, I don't think she was better though. Michonne wasn't the best. Uh, um, a little bit season 9. I'll say that. The season 9 one, because I'm like, no, like don't get me wrong, the Maggie one is still really good. But I don't know. I wasn't like a huge fan of Daryl in that last part, and I don't know, just this, some of the stuff that they had the characters do wasn't the best. But Daryl, Carol, and Michonne, like I did like a lot of that in season 9 to 10. What do you think, Chosen?
I don't really, I don't really remember Daryl, Carol, and Michonne too much in the seasons 9 and 10, but I did. But I know I did like, even though I didn't really like Daryl too much in season 11 because he was really dumb at certain points. But I know I did like the few episodes where Daryl and Carol and Maggie were together and just kind of discussing certain things. And I think they had some good character moments near the end of season 11C.
Okay.
But again, I don't really remember season 9 and 10 of them doing much. Other than I guess 10, Daryl and Carol kind of at the beginning they were like, because Carol came back from the trip and then they were kind of like friends and everything, and then I guess they got mad at each other. But I don't remember Michonne too much.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Uh, okay, so let me see where am I. Okay, yeah, so we're caught up. Yeah, I was just saying that, like, okay, so like about the future of, like again, like the future of The Walking Dead. I just don't see why you would introduce a CRM and not have it matter in terms of the franchise, the story. The CRM cannot just be a group that's like, oh, anytime we need a character to go missing from the story, let's just have the CRM take them. You know what I mean? Like, they can't do that. Like, they did it with Heath, and they did it with Rick. They did it with Althea. Like, you know what I mean? Like what is this? Is CRM just like, hey, we'll take all the characters you don't need anymore in the story, and we'll just like make them disappear? It's like, listen, okay, if you're gonna do that, at least have it matter. And I don't know, like they don't always make it matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like Rick and Michonne, like him being taken by a CRM. This is why I don't want him and Michonne to just like leave the CRM in season 1 and boom, that's it. It's like, no, Rick would never do that. Rick would never just leave the CRM and then just be like, yeah, let's go home. Let's forget about them. Like, he knows they exist. He's been with them for like a decade. Like, it's like they're never gonna be safe. Like, Jadis knows about Alexandra. You know, it's just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, obviously there's no time to like just defeat the CRM in the one season of Roshon, but like I said, I think they have to, because what else is there? Like, what else are you gonna do with the CRM? How else are you gonna have it make sense where Rick leaves? And you know what I mean? You can't end Rick's story with him being like, no, we don't have to defeat the CRM, and that's it. That's his ending, conclusion, forever. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that, Chosen?
yeah, I agree. What do you think? Jadis's role is going to be. So obviously in World Beyond, she's kind of just like evil, but like I don't really want her to be evil, and she does kind of have that side to her where I think she sees Rick as like kind of a friend at least. So she might be a little sympathetic towards him. I hope there is some side of that for Jadis. And she's not just straight up evil like she kind of seemed to be in World Beyond. But because I do want to, I don't want to see like the scavenger type side of her where yeah she's just evil. I like the more complicated. Maybe she's has at least some sympathies towards Rick.
Yeah. Sure, AMC's Walking Dead universe may be doomed as of now. I just have faith in my reboot series to make it better. I missed the Walking Dead comics though. Yeah, me too, man. I Overray says I think the universe is great. Very excited. It's not perfect, but nothing is. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Overrays. It's just, of course, nothing is perfect. I will admit that, but the universe, cannot be amazing if the spin-offs are terrible. You know what I mean? It's like, is The Walking Dead a great universe? Yes, but if it's like, okay, Fear is trash. If Dead City is trash. If Daryl and France is trash. It's like, doesn't that hurt your enjoyment of the universe? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean, Chosen? Like, how many bad seasons, how many bad shows could we get before it's like, okay, you know what, this universe is like, do I even care about this universe anymore? Like, because like I said, I just want AMC to kind of fulfill what they promised us. Like, where is the CRM, and how are they going to be important to the stories? Because I don't think they're going to be important in Daryl's in France, or Dead City, and in Fear they don't really matter in Fear at all. So I'm just like, okay, well, the Rashomon show is only one season, so I hope we get everything we need from the CRM in that one season. But yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, so far I've said this before, but their track record for, I mean, personally for me at least, I'd say their track record for spin-offs is like 50-50, because if you count first three seasons of Fear is good as its own spin-off, then I'd say World Beyond seasons 1 and 2 is good, but some people obviously would disagree with that. And then obviously Tales and Fear Now is really bad. So I'd say it's 50-50, but they do have more bad episodes than good episodes, obviously, because there's been, like 6 or 5 seasons of bad Fear, so.
Yeah. He said, well, surely Fear is, but wait, well, Fear surely is, but I don't really include that show. To be honest, Dead City I think will be good, and Daryl and OFC, Rick and Michonne. Yeah, of course. That's what that means. Yeah, I think Rick. Here's the thing. I think the Rick and Michonne show could be amazing. You know what I mean? I think it could be absolutely amazing. The thing is just that I feel like we still don't really know enough about it, like casting and stuff. Like, General Beale and Jadis, and about what you said, Chosen, about Jadis. I kind of like her more as a villain. I'm going to be honest with you, because Jadis as a villain, I just feel like fits well, because I never bought into the, oh, Jadis is a good guy kind of thing. Like, I always saw Jadis as being this chameleon, this snake character, and the Rick and them have always been giving her chances. You know what I mean? They've always let Jadis do whatever she wanted. Like, they kind of gave her so much slack for betraying them. You know what I mean? She was kind of that strand of their group. You know what I mean? She was just that betrayer that was like, no matter what I do, you will never see me as one of you. So it's like, well, then I'll just be evil, like, or I'll just live out for myself, kind of thing. And I feel like this makes sense, because the thing is, Jadis doesn't have family, she doesn't have a child and stuff like that. She didn't know Rick and them for very long. So it's like, in a way, it kind of does make sense about this whole betrayal. And plus, let's remember, she has murdered several people, and, and also there, and to me, this is irredeemable. Remember, she ordered the execution of Elton and them in season 2 of World Beyond. To me, you can't just redeem her for that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree. She's definitely. I agree with like her like. I guess she was like trying to be kind of like a good guy in like season 9 and all that stuff, but she'd still. I think, at least personally, I think that her like having the helicopter take Rick, like, that was partly because she wanted to be like with the serum, right? But I also think that's partly because she did want to save Rick's life at the same time.
yeah, like, I think at that moment, it was like, boom, save Rick's life. But let's remember that she has kept Rick a decade in the CRM, and Jadis has power now. You know what I mean? She's had power for at least a decent while. So it's like, okay, well then why does she still keep Rick in the CRM? Like, along with Beale, I assume. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, you saved him, Jadis, but you kept him from his family and this and that, and you seemingly don't care about that, So it's like, to me, that kind of makes you irredeemable. You did a good thing, but you took it too far. You know what I mean? And that kind of makes you unforgivable. Overace says, I have confidence, and it surely helps that the characters that are in these spinoffs are going to be in charge to a degree, so that gives it a little hope. Yeah, I hope so, Overace. I hope so. Like, Denai and Andy are in charge of their show, but I don't think Norman and Lauren and Jeffrey D. Morgan, I don't think they're in charge of their shows. I think you should check out season 1 of Last of Us TV show, but maybe don't do streams about it. Okay, I will do streams reacting. I know you don't like Carl's big hair in season 7 and 8, but he can't stay with the same hair he had from season 4 to 6. Well, yeah, Josh, then that's why he could have gotten a haircut, Carl could have just gotten a haircut like season 1 or something, or, sure, like Chandler had in real life, like, I don't know. That's what's up. Interesting to check it out. It's really be fun. Hey, I saw Last of Us episode 1. How was your Christmas? We did fun. Okay, so yeah. Oh, by the way, Chosen, like I think I mentioned this before. We probably talked about it, but I'm just like, man, why does Dead City um why does why does the city and world beyond look you know what I mean, Philadelphia, why does it look more accurate to how a city would look in the zombie apocalypse than New York in Dead City? You know what I mean? Like, why, how come Maggie and Negan are in New York and like there's, you know, have you, like, I saw the pictures and stuff. I saw some uh like a small snippet of Maggie and Negan in the street, and I'm like, okay, why is the streets so clean? You know what I mean? um I don't know. Like, to me, that just gave me a fear vibe where it's like, oh, you know, it's like, come on, did you guys really not, you know, try hard enough on the sets? You know?
Yeah, I will agree that the streets should probably there should probably be like litter everywhere and all that stuff. But honestly, I wasn't when they first announced the show. I wasn't that hyped. But I do really like the pictures. I do think it looks kind of cool. But I hope it's not just episode one where they're actually in the streets doing stuff, and then every other episode they're in like buildings. So I hope we do get to see like New York.
Yeah, and this part was confusing too. They said there was a million zombies, and yet you have Maggie and Negan just like in the streets at nighttime, just like it's clean, you know, no zombies, and like there's a part where they hide under a car, and like there's like, to me, I'm like, wait a minute, where's like the million zombies? Where's a shot of them running for their lives in an alleyway and them climbing up a fire escape? Like, you know what I mean? Like Rick and Glenn did back in the not first, second episode, you know?
Yeah, they're most likely just saying it's a million zombies, or they're gonna say Michonne killed those million zombies when she ran into them in the final episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Rick. Yeah, and the fact that they said like, oh yeah, Michonne ran into that herd of zombies in the final episode. I'm like, oh dang it! Like, I knew it was zombies. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like, yeah, it's a cool shot, but it's like Michonne charging into a herd of zombies with her horse. That's so stupid because dude, just imagine like she runs over a few zombies, boom, the horse trips, Michonne falls over, she gets surrounded by zombies, and then she's like stabbing her way through. She's cutting the zombies and just running. And dude, like, can you imagine if The Walking Dead did that? I would just be like, Michonne, that was on you. You were a complete idiot for doing that. Because you, realistically, you would just go around the herd, not through it.
Yeah, no what's the word? No like living like being like by me I mean like humans, animals, whatever can like run fast enough to not get attacked by all those zombies because especially since like even if you plow through a bunch of them like the horse would slow down, right? Because obviously the bodies would
Yeah.
slow down on
Yeah,
stuff.
it
So
would
no like
slow.
living being could run fast enough to just plow all those zombies down.
Yeah, exactly. You need a machine or something to not trip or something like that, you know, and the horse is not a machine. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Walker Dead says, Brian, for the Rick and Michonne spinoff, do you see the rumors of the series being one season only, true or false? I think they're true, Walker Dead, but I hope it's false because I want just one more season, you know what I mean, to tie up the CRM storyline. I just feel like two seasons is perfect. Like World Beyond, and one season is just so little. You know what I mean? Um, let's see. TV Michonne sucked, but comic Michonne was okay. I mean, I did like TV Michonne in a couple areas. You know, like season 3, I like Michonne. Season 4, I liked her, and then you know, I did like her in season 5, and then you know, I did. You know, she got a little bit less interesting, I guess. I'll admit, in season 6, like she wasn't my favorite. Because I don't think they had anything. They didn't have much for her in season 6, as a character. And then like season 7 is just like boom, she's Rick's love interest, and you know, it's just I don't know. It's like, you know what I mean, in season 8 too. It's like I don't know. But you know, I did like her in season 9 a bit, and then like with season 10, I was kind of like, I don't really like this Michonne that much. Um, yeah, you know what I mean? Like post Whisper Michonne, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? And then like she left, and yeah, like I don't think TV Michonne sucked. I just think that in terms of an ending, yeah, comic Michonne had a way better ending than TV Michonne, because like, yeah, like now Michonne's story in the show ends with her charging into zombies, where it's like, Michonne, are you okay? Because are you going mental? Are you having a nervous breakdown? Because I don't see how you're gonna go through all those zombies, and make it out with you and your horse. It's like, and here's the thing. Also, chosen that I'm worried about this. They said there's a story of Michonne wearing that armor. I don't care about that, and honestly, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we could fill in the holes of like, okay, maybe what happened, but like, like I said, like, because we don't have enough time to see a flashback of Rick, a flashback of Michonne, and then Rick and Michonne in the present, Jadis, CRM, World Beyond characters, maybe. We just don't have enough time.
Yeah, I just assumed she got it from that group. I don't think it's really that important for us for them to show us that.
Yeah, we don't need another Scars episode, because I just don't think we have enough time. Like, I don't need to see how Michonne got her outfit. Like, yeah, it's been like what, a year and a half since Michonne left. Here's the thing though, whatever journey Michonne had in the year and a half after she abandoned her kids, that story is not going to be any more interesting or engaging as the one she's currently living with finding Rick and CRM. And also, I don't understand how Michonne could have been out there all this time in that area and she still did not see the CRM. Like, where is she heading? Like, what is that area she's in? Like, you know what I mean? It's um I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. You couldn't have ended. They couldn't have ended it with Michonne, in the woods, and then she sees the Philadelphia skyline, like, because she's just charging in a herd, and I'm like, okay, well, it's been a year and a half, and she's not any closer to finding Rick. Geez, what's next? As soon as the Rick and Michonne show picks up, it's gonna be 4 more years, and Michonne's gonna be like, I still haven't found him, but I'll keep looking. It's like, Michonne, no, you failed. Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe the big group she was with knows something about the CRM.
I mean, it'd be interesting, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Um,
I feel like they might know something about the CRM, but I don't know if they're going to show them because they're probably just going to have died off camera or something, or just like, or Michonne would have left them off camera.
1 second, man. Sorry. Yeah, I think those people probably a lot of them died or something. Like, but the question is how and why. It's like, so you're telling me you introduced this group just to kill them off? Next time we see them.
Yeah, that would suck. But I can definitely see The Walking Dead doing that.
I would hate that. Um, do you think Michonne might come across the World Beyond characters?
Like before she sees Rick and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, before she sees Rick.
Well, who's I can't really remember the ending too well. So, or not. So, Hope is in like an underground lab thing, right? And like,
Yeah, yeah.
or something like that.
She's in Ithaca, New York, in the underground lab, which is not far from the research facility.
So, where's Iris, Elton, all the other survivors? I know Silas is with the CRM.
They're in Portland.
And where's Michonne? Where's Michonne?
I don't know.
Roughly.
She was in Virginia, and now we don't know where she is. But I guess she's somewhere in between Virginia and Philadelphia. I mean, that's what
I don't know U.S. geography. Is Portland around that area or in between?
No, Portland is on the west coast, and Virginia is on the east coast of the country. So it's they have to get across completely. So yeah, I don't know. Should Michonne run into Hope in them in the lab in the research facility, or should she run into Iris in them?
I feel like story-wise, like I know you just said they're like on different sides, but I feel like story-wise, like I think it would make more sense for her to run into Iris in them instead of like the scientist. But then again, you did just say that they're like on totally different sides, so.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of time. I don't know. I mean, either would work. Honestly, I'll take either. I wouldn't be like, oh man, I wanted Michonne to meet Hope first, not Iris. Listen, I don't like Iris, but I'll take it, whatever. Because at least it's like, okay, you're moving the story forward, and it's like, oh, okay. But here's another thing too: is Iris and them, they don't know where the CRM are. That's another issue, though. They don't know the CRM are in Philadelphia because literally, nobody, um, I don't know why, but Dennis and Huck did not tell the kids and everyone that, hey, CRM is in Philadelphia. Because I remember Iris did ask. She said, "Where is the hidden city?" And Huck wouldn't say anything. And that was the first and only time they mentioned, really the hidden city in a way, other than like, well, I mean, there was a moment where like Hope asked Mason about the hidden city, and he kind of just like didn't say anything, you know. So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, geesh, man, like they can't say where the hidden city is, like not even after you betray the CRM. I guess Huck forgot to tell them, but it's like, yeah, who's gonna tell them that they're in Philadelphia?
What if do you think Isabella and Althea are gonna show up?
I hope so, but I don't think so. And that was another thing I had, issue I had with Fear. Could they seriously not have a moment in Fear where, I don't know, you have Isabella just telling Morgan and them how like, hey, this is where our group is, CRM. Don't go to that area because that city, like they have patrols for miles and miles in the outside the city. Lots of stations and stuff. So you'll never get even close in the city before they catch you, kind of thing. I don't know. It's just the fact that is we couldn't even find out if even in Fear if it's like, okay, yeah, CRM are in Philadelphia, because it's like literally Isabella left the CRM. She left.
Hmm.
She went AWOL. She ditched, and it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, and you're a traitor now. You're not part of them anymore. So it's like, why not at least tell us where it is? Like
Yeah.
what's the harm in telling? Like it's literally not that hard to just do it. You know what I mean? Because they set it up perfectly. Someone from the CRM betrays the CRM, Isabel, but they could simply just have the character say, "This is where the city is," but they just don't have that conversation.
See, normally I would assume that that happened off camera, but the reason why I don't assume that happened off camera is first of all because Ian and Andrew. Secondly, because like from The Walking Dead, Gabriel and Negan never said anything
Oh yeah,
about like the helicopters and Jadis and all that stuff, and I kind of assumed maybe that was said off camera, but then that's never brought up again. So then I'm like, okay, well then I guess it was never said at all.
imagine in the Negan show, Negan just says to Maggie casually about how like like, yeah, I saw the helicopter all those years ago, and like you think Jadis and you think that secret community Jadis that Gabriel told us about that Jadis knew is somewhere here in the city, like what I mean. I would be like if I found that out, I would like be shocked. I'd be like, wait a minute, you're telling me Gabriel told the group that, hey, Jadis had this secret, community that nobody knew about, like only she knew, and she tried to have a walker bite me, and she had this phone, and you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just how could they not do that? I don't understand how AMC could not address that. Like, yeah, they completely skipped over, you know, um, Gabriel and the Negan thing with Jadis. They completely skipped that over. So now I'm just like, man, what was the point of all that?
Especially Gabriel, since someone would probably go up to him, like maybe even Rosie, and be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because I know you and like Anne were close, right? So like, especially Gabriel, like someone should go up to him and like, and then he would bring that up, right?
Yeah, yeah. You think they would do that? But no, instead we get the Commonwealth is building a train and they have a prisoner camp in Alexandria. Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
just
it kind of reminds me of the comics where, like off panel, Robert Kirkman kind of confirmed that Carl told Andrea about like killing like either Ben or Billy. I think it was Ben, maybe. Um,
yeah.
and like that's definitely something they should have shown, but you know it is what it is. But at least it happened. You know what I mean? It's not just like we don't know if it happened or not. At least we know it happened.
Yeah, like Kurtman confirmed it, but the writers they just didn't confirm anything.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Walker Dead says I don't like how Ian and Andy kill characters off screen, like off camera. I'm like, that's so ridiculous. Um, how many people did Ian and Andy kill off screen? Um,
Well, he killed. I mean, technically they killed all the original Fear characters because I haven't seen them since season 3, episode 16. But you know,
Yeah. Um. Uh. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at something. Um. Okay. Yeah. So like Ian and Andy. Oh, well, technically they kill off Madison off screen. Like in a way, I kind of count that, I guess. Um.
mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Epic.
It,
Hey, man. How are you? How was your Christmas? How was your holiday?
it was pretty good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Um. Oh yeah. So what I want to say. Okay. Yeah. So technically, Ian and Andy killed off Madison technically because they retconned her death, but they also, I guess, they killed the kids from season 5. You know what I mean, like the kids that Alicia saved, because like it's like there's no way they can still be alive. You know what I mean, like I guess they're dead, the kids. um, and then
Yeah, yeah, I don't really care about. Yeah, I don't care.
yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
hold on guys, really quick. Rosita's when Rosita falls, man, the stunt mat, you know, right? Like, like, can you guys like not look at that scene again without seeing the stunt mat?
True. But I at first I didn't notice it, to be honest.
Yeah. Um.
I don't really mind too much, but it definitely now, like, you can, if you're looking for it, you can definitely notice it.
Yeah, like you can't unsee it, but like, yeah, first time watching, it's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't get it at first, but um, yeah, good eye to people who saw it first time. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, um. Yeah. So okay. So with the future of The Walking Dead, I don't see how. Oh, we found out some things about this Walking Dead Summit. Apparently, the Rick and Michonne show is supposed to premiere after Halloween. Like, so it's gonna be like early November, I think, when it comes out. And then it's like 6 episodes, and then boom, like December something, middle of December, it's gonna end, I guess. Um,
So the Rashawn show is going to be premiering fall of 2023.
yeah, it's gonna be like a full year. Um,
Mm.
before we see the end of season 1. You know what I mean? Like from now, kind of thing. Like it's going to be around there. Like a whole year from now, around this time, we'll be done. We'll have just finished season 1, like maybe a week or so ago. Which is
So
just
is Maggie Negan, is that the first show?
I think Fear season 8's first, right?
Hey, I know you probably don't care, but do you know when Fear season 8 will be starting?
Isn't it like February? Doesn't it come out February?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care, honestly, because I'm not watching season 8. It's just like, there's so much with it that doesn't make sense. I heard there's going to be a time skip, and I'm like, they just got abducted by Padre. And let's not forget, Charlie was dying. Like,
It just says 2023.
Me personally, I have a feeling the only reason why they're doing the stuff they're doing with Charlie is so they can like kind of like skip past and not do like Madison finding out that she killed Nick and like it, yeah.
I don't know. Do you really think they're going to do that, Chosen? Do you think they would really kill off Charlie off screen?
I just think those writers don't even know that that radiation poisoning, or they did know that radiation poisoning existed, but they forgot about it.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I don't think they thought about the future about like Charlie meeting up with Madison or anything like that. I think they just write as they go and they just forgot about it.
Oh, hey guys, we have Walking Dead royalty here. James from Nashville, TWD explained. Thank you so much for coming, man. This time next year, we'll be talking about the end of Rick and Michonne. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. It's gonna be the last show next year. That's crazy. Season 8 in February, I think. Yeah, I had a feeling. Um, all right, so you guys can talk to him. Um, you guys can talk to him. Let me just 1 second, guys. Let me just send this invite. Um, yeah, yeah, James, let me know about the question I just sent you on Discord. Let me know. And yeah, man, hey, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Um, man, oh my goodness, I'm so excited now. This is, yeah. Um, yeah, I love your channel, man. I love your TWD explained. Because yeah, it definitely helps with The Walking Dead. Getting the rundown of like episodes and scenes and things like that. So it's awesome, man. Um, yeah, really really awesome channel. Like, can't wait to see more videos to come.
Big Brian.
Yeah, Pick.
I know you don't really care for Morgan's character anymore, but are you surprised he's lasted this long?
I am. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am, because like with Morgan, I thought he could die in season 8. You know what I mean? Because like he said I don't die in the trailer, and I'm like, well, and one of the things is, like I'm like, well, somebody has to die. There's too many characters in this and that. I could not have predicted it was going to be Carl that died, and I could not predict that. Where's it right now? The country exodus may not work well right now. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, man, sorry, I kind of got lost in thought. Um, Sorry, do you guys know what I was talking about? I had to send a message real quick.
You were saying how you didn't expect Carl to die,
Yeah, thank you.
and how you expected Morgan to die.
Yeah, I thought Morgan might die in season 8 because I was thinking like, well, Morgan built a cell for Negan. He was all about life is precious, but then he kind of went crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, well, is this? I felt like his arc was to like maybe die or something, but then they had Morgan go into fear, and then and if that wasn't bad enough, if that wasn't bad enough, let's remember he got shot in season 5 at the end of season 5, and boom, zombies were on him. They were about to kill him. There was no Dakota anywhere. They ended on a cliffhanger, and then somehow Morgan for several months had a bullet wound in his shoulder. He had blood red eyes, and he was just like that for months on end. No, that's so fake. Not to mention the radiation and stuff. It just like, yeah, I am surprised, Epic. I'm like, dude, how can Morgan still be alive? He's been shot, poisoned, radiated, several times, mind you. Didn't Gray say in season 6 how like Morgan, if you go in the control room of the sub, you're gonna die because that's the most radiated area? And did Morgan get sick? Did he die? Nope. They survived the nukes. They survived the nukes going off. I mean, come on, unbelievable.
I'm not gonna lie, like that is one of the biggest problems I have with Fear. Like the fact that all the characters survived nukes going off is so unrealistic. Yeah.
I think Morgan dying in season 8 actually would have been a cool idea. I think it would have been kind of like like that tragic ending because at first, like you said, he's kind of like all life is precious, don't kill, and then he goes on to the deep end, right? And then he goes and starts killing, and then he actually dies. So I think that'd be kind of tragic, but like in a good way, like it's storytelling wise, anyway.
Hey Brian.
Um, yeah.
Do you think all the characters surviving those nukes in Fear makes no sense?
Oh yeah, 100%. The only one really that should have survived was Alicia. You could make an excuse like, okay, what about Dwight and Sherry, and the Larson family? It's like, I guess you could stretch the truth like that. But the helicopter one, no, there's no way. And the Strand one, no, him and Howard should have died. And the Morgan and Grace, like I'm not insane, but they should have died. And I know they have a baby, they have a dog, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, can you imagine how tragic that would have been? Like Morgan, Grace, and the baby are just killed right there, and it's like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Cause I don't know. It's like this was supposed to be that episode with the nukes going off. That was supposed to be like the red wedding of The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like The Walking Dead has those moments of where it's like, oh, you think you hope someone's gonna survive, but it's like, no, a bunch of characters you love just die because they're in this inescapable situation, and it's like, oh, okay, boom, characters die. It's heart wrenching. It's gutting. It's oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just saw that, and it's just like, but I feel like they didn't do it in Fear. Like I don't know.
Obviously, realistically, obviously they all should have died except for maybe Alicia, but and maybe Victor because apparently he just like ran super fast on a horse or went super fast on a horse and got a distance. But obviously from like just like a writer's standpoint, like it's kind of you wouldn't really want to kill off your lead like Morgan and stuff. But yeah, obviously realistically most of them should have died.
Yeah, I get I get what you're saying, man. But Morgan being the lead, he never should have been the lead. This was Alicia's show, you know. Fear was Alicia's show.
Well, it was Madison's, but
yeah, that too. But yeah, I agree. Walker Dead, absolutely.
Well, I mean, technically, you can see, The Walking Dead season 9. The Pike moment in that season is kind of a red wedding-ish moment.
Yeah, exactly. James says the nuke thing in Fear crazy. Everyone had a Geiger counter, and sometimes would wear masks, sometimes not, etc. Are you trying to say etc. or it's etc. I think that's etc. Sort of. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, yeah, like the horses and everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even the horses didn't have masks on. Wouldn't they die from radiation? How did Morgan build a Ghostbusters car? Like, you know what I mean? It's just there's so much with that season that's just like messed up, and the whole radiation storyline just doesn't make sense. Here's the thing though, with Strand and Howard, they definitely should have died. Like, I know you mentioned, he couldn't kill off the lead. Like, Strand wasn't the lead. Like to me, that just showed me like, wow, they didn't want to kill off anybody. They didn't want to kill off anyone. And with the Pikes, yeah, it was better in the comics, but I agree. The Pikes was kind of like this red wedding moment of The Walking Dead, and every show kind of needs that. Every Walking Dead show kind of needs a red wedding moment. You know what I mean? Like especially the second main show of the Walking Dead franchise. The second, the most notable spinoff. You know what I mean? It's like, because yeah, like in Fear, we didn't really get that. You know what I mean? It's like, can you imagine how gut wrenching it would have been if it's like, some like almost everyone but Alicia dies from the nukes. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, what happens now? And then it's like, oh, well, see, season 7 is going to be the last season, and there's still Alicia, and it's going to follow Dave Erickson's vision of, hey, we're going to end Fear in season 7. That's what they should have done, in my honest opinion.
And like, I mean, like, and me personally, like to make the Pikes in season 9, that moment feel like a red wedding-ish moment. The season 9 finale, we actually got to see snow, and there's a lot of snow in Game of Thrones. So
Did you want to say something, Chosen?
Remember how I brought up like the letter hacks and stuff like that from the comics earlier? So speaking of that, this is kind of just a tiny bit off topic, but someone also brought up in the letter hacks one time that asking like, oh shit, what if there's like nukes and all that stuff in issue 200? And then Robert Kirkman's like, no, that's not gonna happen. But obviously, it did at least kind of happen in Fear, because I wouldn't say they're kind of fake nukes, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
like
Brian,
yes.
do you agree with what I said that, it's kind of ironic how Game of Thrones, like they made like the end of season 9 Game of Thrones just by the Pikes being sort of like the Red Wedding and the finale having snow and
Yeah, season 9 was on the right track there, with some of the stuff they did. It was
Actually,
good. Go ahead.
keep going.
Wait, I was just gonna read the chat. Was it one of short? Yeah. Walker Dead. Your Fear the Walking Dead season 6 finale short. That was really good. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen it, please check it out on his channel. His What If season 6 finale of Fear. That was really good. Guys, they can't kill off Morgan in
like
Fear 8.
Brian.
Hold on, Epic. I'm reading the chat. Guys, they can't kill off Morgan in Fear 8 because Lenny James is needed for Fear's future, and he's a Walking Dead character. Yeah. Josh, I don't know if you're being like serious or like joking or you know what I mean, but it's like, oh, Fear 8. If there was a no, sorry, there is a Fear 8, but it's like when you say like Fear's future, it's like, oh wait, you mean like 9, 10? Oh, that just disgusts me that they would even consider doing a Fear 9 and 10. And it's like, oh, he's a Walking Dead character. It's like, even though he's a Walking Dead character, I don't care anymore. It's like, he like I can't stand Morgan. So it seems Alicia lived. Do you think the actress will return later at some point? Great question, James. I don't think so because Alicia Denham Carey is doing like 2 shows, maybe a movie. So I think Alicia Denham Carey. I think she just wanted off this franchise, and and I know it's crazy. It's like, but I do think Alicia Denham Carey left the franchise, and they're just not saying it. You know what I mean? The heads on Pikes and the Walking Dead were pointless. My opinion still stands. They didn't even the heads on Pikes. Oh yeah, they didn't even mention the heads on Pike. Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of wish they mentioned the Pikes more. I'm not joking, Brian. Oh, that's scary. um, yeah. Okay, I'm done reading the chat. Go ahead, guys.
Epic, you kind of have a point with the whole Game of Thrones stuff too, because not just because of the snow and just the deaths in general, but also in Game of Thrones they would make the kind of like the most climatic, if that's a word, climactic. I don't know what the word here is. Episode like with like the deaths and all that stuff be the second last episode of the season, and obviously I'm pretty sure the Pikes episode was episode 15, which is obviously the second last episode of the season. So yeah, you do have a point there.
No, like I just find it ironic how, like I said, like the Pikes is like a red wedding-ish moment, and then the season finale, like we literally see snow, and there's a lot of snow in Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. But
Um,
but like what I was gonna say, Brian, is like I don't like me personally, I don't like how Fear. Like me personally, like having Fear outlive the main show in a way is a very bad idea, and I don't like that they're doing that.
yeah. I agree, man. Do you guys think that Fear really might get like a season 9, a season 10? Because like, I'm just like, man, like, yeah, because like Fear 8, they didn't say it's the final season. We know that. But like I said, I just feel like kind of with Tales, like boom, all of a sudden, like there's not going to be an announcement for a season 9 of Fear. And people are going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Is it like Tales 2, season 2, that's like canceled? But they're not going to say it's been canceled. And I know some people will say, okay, well, Tales is not canceled. Like, well, until AMC confirms it. Well, for me, my head canon is that like Tales is so far canceled because, like I said, they're doing too many spin-offs right now. So it kind of makes sense if it's like, oh yeah, Tales is canceled. They also did poorly. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're getting a season 2 of Tales. I could be wrong, but like I said, I'm just gonna assume it's been canceled until they confirm that, oh, there is a season 2. Because like yeah, the amount of time that's passed, that is not a good sign. You know what I mean? Like for AMC to confirm another season.
I didn't like Tales season 1, but I would be fine if they do a season 2, just because Tales is that type of show where like it's not like a continuing story, so it's like season 2 could be, they could have every single episode be good, especially if they bring back like old actors like Tyrese and all that stuff, right? So I wouldn't be mad if they brought up if they announced a season 2. Just 'cause, like I said, it's not a continuing story. So
But Tales season 1 was all over the place.
yeah, well, I just say it's just straight up trash. But yeah,
I mean, I didn't really watch it. I just tried to like, um, I just try like so I looked at like thumbnails for like a bunch of videos of Tales, and I saw like some people talking about it in like Walking Dead franchise review and like spin-off talk about spin-offs and stuff. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like um with Tales, it was like I think it went too far out there with The Walking Dead, like from what the original vision's supposed to be, and also not to mention it was cheaply made, and you know what I mean. Like dude, did you guys see the actors they used? They used like okay, yes, they used Ted Cruz, like you know what I mean. They used some notable actors, but um
Ted Cruz.
yeah, Ted Cruz. They used some notable
Isn't that a
actors.
different person? Ted Cruz. Isn't that a politician?
No, wait, is it? No, the guy they had in the first episode.
Terry. Terry. Is that his name?
Terry.
Terry Crews.
What's his last name?
Terry. Yeah, Cruz, but with
Oh, I
like
meant to say Terry.
Crews.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I said Ted, not Terry. Yeah, sorry, I meant to say Terry. But yeah, like they had some. He was notable, but like and then Alpha, but like that was it. Just two notable actors out of like 10 actors in total and 6 episodes. Like
Well, I
that just
don't.
turned a lot of people off.
I don't really care about like obviously I'd rather see like notable characters like I said like with Tyrese and all that stuff. But if they're not going to do that, I don't care about bringing famous actors like Terry Crews. They can have no name actors. I don't care as long as they're good actors. But they just need a good story. Like even the Terry Crews episode, that episode was horrendous.
Yeah,
I'd say there's only like maybe 1.5 good episodes in that show. So
I'm sorry. The episode I don't like, like the most in that like season was the freaking, like the freaking Groundhog Day episode and the fucking or the freaking time like that was so dumb.
yeah, a lot of people hated that. Hold on, guys, gotta catch up. Yeah, Alicia didn't carry. If Fear gets a 9 and 10, I'm gonna rant. Fear should have ended season 7. James says, surely with the time jump, they will be able to end Fear the Walking Dead and move Morgan into a spin-off of his own, or bring him back into a Walking Dead spin-off. Interesting theory, James. As far as ending Fear, I don't know if Ian and Andy are I don't think they're capable of ending Fear. Like, we know what Ian and Andy are capable of, like a lot of stupidity. But when it comes to ending Fear, I don't know if AMC wants to do that because we just got Madison back, or you guys did, and it's like I don't know. And as far as Morgan getting a spinoff of his own, it's like he kind of already does. Like you know what I mean? It's like so is he going to go into the Daryl show or Dead City? I just don't see how that's going to work. Man, I don't know. But and also here's another thing. Is Morgan going to leave Grace and baby Morgan behind? That's another thing they would have to write. I bet they do a season 2 of Tales at some point, maybe 2024. We'll see, James. Yeah, we'll talk about this. If you're right, I'll credit you. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a season 2 of Tales. But maybe you're right. Go ahead, guys. Did you want to say something?
Plus, I mean, no, if they did do a Morgan spinoff, knowing you wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, because it's just going to be what? It's pretty much just going to be Fear, but just Morgan by himself. Like, we just got a spinoff.
The reason I said you wouldn't watch it is because you don't really care for his character anymore.
But yeah, Morgan, I don't know what his character, because to me, Morgan is just this, he's just this failure, he's this guy who just keeps running and running and running from everything. He runs from conflict, you know what I mean? Morgan, he couldn't face his wife, and he lost his son. And then he couldn't face the actions he did, so he burned that house. He burned that house down, that building down. And then, Morgan ran from himself, with the whole Eastman thing. Morgan kept running from himself. And then he went to go find Rick. And then he found Rick. But then he left, he ran away and went to Fear. And then, Morgan has sort of been with that group this whole time. But then again, not really, because he has also been kind of doing his own thing. And then Morgan went with the baby and he took off. And it's like, to me, it just seems like Morgan is this character that's just like he's constantly always running from people, and I don't know how. And then also, it's like I don't want to see a show where Morgan's going to meet brand new characters, and then it's like, oh, it's like it's going to feel too much like Fear season 4, in my honest opinion. Even though we're not going to know probably new characters, I don't know why. I just get a feeling like even if Morgan meets people, it's like, and he gets his own show, like I just feel like it might be something like that. Like I don't know. Hey man,
I'd say the running thing is okay, especially in the main show, just because it's supposed to be a character flaw for him, which obviously all characters should have a character flaw. Or it's good to have one at least. But now it's in Fear at least it's gotten to the point where it's just bad writing. But that's with everything else, so we can't really just pin that one thing.
Well, the thing
hey Matt. Hey Matt.
Hey, what's good?
Hey man, we're just trying to talk about the future of The Walking Dead.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey Matt.
What's up?
Like I know Brian isn't really a fan of Morgan anymore. How do you feel about him?
I just like him because of his classic status.
Hold on, guys. Let me just get caught up real quick. Season 2 ratings of Tales weren't that good. Yeah, Tales ratings were terrible. At this point, I doubt Season 2 of Tales Walking Dead AMC would announce on social media, like with Dead City. Yeah, the fact that Dead City got announced to Season 2 before the other shows, that was just insane. Fear is going to end with 117 episodes. Can't you believe it? I don't know, maybe. I doubt it. Again, Fear should have ended 7. Morgan would have to go into a 2024 thing. Oh, like a Morgan show. Brian, which Walking Dead universe is your favorite universe in general? Which one are you talking about? If you're talking about the comic or show, I will say the comic. Like, I prefer the comic universe more. Just because like it ended, it was satisfying. The show one, I'm just
more consistent.
Yeah. If Rick and Michonne show is only one season, how would Negan and Maggie and Daryl show connect in some? Wait. Oh, how would? Yeah, I don't know, Henry. Great question. And this is a question I want to ask all of you guys. Like, this is another thing. The Rick and Michonne show, it's only going to be 6 episodes, and in Dead City, it's going to get a season 2. Like, to me, this is why they shouldn't have done Dead City and Daryl in France, because now they can't. Negan, Maggie, Daryl, they cannot be in Rick and Michonne's show for that final conclusion of Rick and Michonne's characters, and I'm like. But then that means we're not going to get a reunion. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think, Matt?
I mean, honestly, this is kind of where I see it going, right? Is like, they're going to do the 6 episodes, probably going to do an hour long each. And I've kind of theorized about this with Dan, is like, this is kind of what we've kind of thought is like, friggin', we think they're building up to a potential 12th season down the line with 10 episodes where everything's going to connect for like an Avengers Endgame type of season where all the shows merge for like a big final battle season or something.
Yeah, I hope so, but I don't know. Like, because to me, I'm just not seeing the signs that AMC is building towards that. I did a few years ago, like with World Beyond Season 2, I'm like, wow, like I see it. I see the Walking Dead Endgame. I see what they're trying to do. But then with Fear, I was like, with Season 7, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, well, what just happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the main show. And then the main show disappointed me too, where it's like, wait, so the characters don't even get to know really 100% Rick's alive. They don't get to find out about the CRM. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, wait, what happened? What happened to the Endgame that was set up? And if you guys asked me a couple years ago, I mentioned this in my stream earlier today. If you guys said a few years ago, like, hey, this is what The Walking Dead's going to do, Avengers Endgame, World Beyond, Fear, Rick and them, I would be like, yeah, awesome. I want to see that. I want to see that in the future. But, like, how far in the future are we talking about? I thought we were going to get it, like, in the next year or so. But is it going to be something like that's, like, 10 years in the future? Because Kaylee Fleming, man, dude, she's going to be so old by then.
Well, everybody's going to be old by then. We're going to have, like, an Avengers Endgame. If it's 10 years down the line or something crazy like that, friggin', you're going to have, like, a bunch of, like, old people, friggin' fighting. Yeah, that's going to be kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up, Epic?
I just want to say, do you think Fear Season 7 was absolute garbage?
I only liked one episode, which was Reclamation, the 6th episode. That one I liked. The rest is terrible, though.
Mm.
I think for Brian, you're saying like if that like Isle of the Dead, I refuse to call it Dead City, but Isle of the Dead gets like a season 2, and obviously the Rick and Michonne show is only having one season. I think I don't know how likely this is, but they could play with time a little bit and just make it so like almost like zero time has passed in Isle of the Dead, and then have them like obviously transfer over into the Rick and Michonne show in like the final episode or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good point, but I just don't see it happening because Rick and Michonne show is supposed to be like right after they left. Like we're supposed to be flashbacks and like right after the finale, but they said like Dead City is going to be years after the finale, and it's like what?
I think they confirmed it like 3 to 4 years, I think.
What in the world, man? Like, why so much time? Like,
that's a bit of a strange one.
Maybe for something that happened to Annie and Herschel or something.
What?
Here's at least what I think about that is friggin' Annie. Friggin', I don't think we're ever seeing that character again. I think they're gonna write her off. Herschel, we're probably just gonna get a recast for an older version or something. But yeah, Annie, I think, is just gonna die off screen, and Negan will just mention it in the premiere.
They might do what they did to Stephanie in the comics, and just kill her off screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. 1 second, guys. After Rick and Michonne show is over, will Rick and I already said Henry. Yeah, I know. Some people think that. Yeah, some people brought up like, hey, what about Daryl and Maggie and Negan seeing Rick again in their show? I don't know how it's gonna work because filming is an issue. You know what I mean? I can't see Lauren and Daryl, Norman Reedus. I can't see them filming for the Rick and Michonne show at the same time they're filming their shows. I just don't see that happening. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that's possible? Because I don't see that happening.
Depends if it's just like a cameo or
not. I don't know. I still think Rick and Michonne is the swan. Oh, R&M is the swan song for them. Don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure that Rick and Michonne show will still be good though because Andrew Lincoln is a great actor. Well, that depends, Henry. Because as we see with Fear is a trash show, but it has a great actor. Lenny James. Like Lenny James, fantastic actor. Alicia Denham Carey, amazing. Austin Emilio as Dwight, fantastic actor. But look at the episodes they're in. The seasons they're in. Like a lot of it's trash, and it's because of Ian and Andy's writing. The writing has to complement the actors, in my opinion, because it's not.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
What's up?
Well, like me personally, I said to Brian earlier that like my least favorite episode, or the episode I don't like the most in Tales, was the Groundhog Time Loop episode.
Oh gosh, Gina and Blair, that episode.
Yeah.
I agree though. Yeah, with Dwight, like I don't remember too much was happening. I think Wes was on his his like evil phase for some reason, and he was like attacking Dwight or something. But then he was like knocked out or something along those lines. And then Dwight was like talking with Sherry like inside like this barn thing, and the dialogue was horrendous, but the acting was really good. Where they pulled off the scene even though the dialogue was horrendous. But yeah,
and like I mentioned it before, but like you guys know me that like the first half season 7 I fucking hated Dwight. I hated him.
Epic.
I couldn't stand his character. I didn't like him at all.
Because of what, the Dark Horses plot?
That was so dumb. The Dark Horses.
I was laughing like crazy in season 7 episode 5 when they bring them up to like the rooftop and it's like the Dark Horses per your request. He's got Victor laughing like a friggin' maniac when he sees it's Dwight and Sherry. I just laughed at that scene.
It's like, you guys are the Dark Horses. How did you even hear about them?
Yeah, I know, right?
They heard about them the same way that Padre knows about Alicia and Nick apparently.
Oh, yeah. Man. It's funny how the most interesting stories in The Walking Dead are the ones that happen off screen.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you feel the same way, like how I did? How season 7A of the main show, like I said, that first half, I hated Dwight. I didn't like him at all. I hated him so much. Did you
Of the
feel?
main show?
Yeah.
I actually like him that half because he's meant to get under your skin and be like a villain and stuff.
Mm.
Henry says it's really interesting that the Negan and Maggie show and the Daryl show will be longer than the Rick and Michonne show. Interesting. I'm not sure, Henry. I think it's scary because, like I said, okay, like how can you end Rick and Michonne's stories forever, and then boom, we see like Maggie, Negan, Daryl still having their own adventures in their shows? I don't know. To me, I'm just like, how is that the future of The Walking Dead? When I think about the future of The Walking Dead, I think of The Walking Dead Endgame. I think of CRM, Commonwealth, Portland. I think of that as the future of The Walking Dead, not as whatever the spin-off stories are going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Particularly
I
the
agree.
Daryl one.
I agree
Well,
because obviously for like characters on The Walking Dead that aren't as important, like Lydia, Aaron, those Jerry, like just Ezekiel, those side characters that aren't as important, they don't have their own spin-offs for a reason, right? And then obviously Maggie, Negan, Daryl, Rick, and Michonne, they have their spin-offs, but Rick and Michonne are more important characters than Daryl and them, right? So it's kind of like a progression thing, right? They already eliminated Aaron and all of them in their storyline. Now they're gonna have Maggie in them. Then eventually they would like eliminate their storyline. Eliminate is probably the wrong word, but and then just yeah, I agree, Brian.
well, me personally, Brian, like after seeing like all of season 11 in its entirety, me personally, the CRM are gonna wipe the floor with the Commonwealth.
Oh yeah, they totally will. Man, can you imagine that? We just get like this bloodbath, just like just like Commonwealth soldiers dead everywhere, like kind of thing. And it's like, oh yeah, you get a sense that like, oh yeah, like Commonwealth is not winning this war. You know, because like let's remember their armor doesn't, they can't even defeat zombies. You know, like you know what I mean, like their trained soldiers get killed by zombies. It's like, yeah, CRM's gonna wipe the floor with them, and it's like, yeah. Um, Walker Dead says, then what was the point in introducing Annie in The Walking Dead Season 11, then killing Annie off screen when The Walking Dead Dead City starts would be ridiculous in my opinion. Yeah, I would think well, I'm not going to watch the show, I don't think so. It's like, but I do think that would be ridiculous. Also, what about Negan's child? I don't know, let's just say his son, like, because everyone's having a girl in The Walking Dead. Let's say Negan has a son. What are they going to do with that? You know?
I feel like they could kill off Annie from like giving childbirth or whatever, and then the baby lives because that's why they're doing some time jump.
But then why does Negan abandon his child?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, right there. Again, that feels like a repeat of Clementine Lives, in my opinion, because in that terrible book you had Clem abandon AJ, and the fact that Maggie and Negan are gonna do the same with their I don't know.
Well, like it's possible that someone could, for whatever reason, could take Herschel and Negan's child, or maybe they could even for like this is kind of too drastic, but have Herschel kind of take revenge on Negan, have Herschel like run away with Negan's child. They could, like, I'm sure they're going to think of something. It's not going to be just them randomly leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man, because like I honestly just can't think of what they can use, and have it make sense. You know what I mean? I just can't think of something like, you know what I mean? Like you're telling me like Herschel's 10 years old and boom, he's gonna kidnap Negan's 3-year-old child and just like go to New York. Like what? Like what is
Yeah,
that?
like that is crazy, but there has to be something. Like even if it's dumb, like I'll complain about it. But there has to be something. There's no way they're just gonna make them go to New York for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. It seems to me like the Daryl spinoff will be the big spinoff of connecting everything because the other ones will probably be short as always. Everything will revolve around Daryl. LOL. Maybe Henry, but to me, I feel like the Daryl spinoff might get really boring. Like because a lot of people complained about Fear when it was like the whole, when the characters were in Mexico, like the subtitles and everything. And I don't know, how do you guys feel about hearing if you guys watch Daryl talk to, French people, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Do you really think that people are gonna like enjoy that show? Like, it's
I
gonna
Well,
think
be
it
I
might
mean,
be kind of comedic.
well, I mean, me personally, the only thing that I like about the Daryl show is the fact that it's going to be in Paris, and we've never seen Paris in The Walking Dead before.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think
Hey,
this
hey, Matt,
What's up?
do you agree what I said about Paris, never seeing Paris in The Walking Dead before?
I like the idea of a new location, but I think Daryl's the wrong character to put there.
Oh, I agree.
Mm.
Daryl is definitely the wrong character to put in France because, like
Who
I
would you
said,
rather?
like, who would I rather?
Honestly, I would personally like just because I think this would spice things up a lot for the Rick and Michonne show. I'll just put Rick there. Have Rick be in a foreign country. I mean, he flew over there in a helicopter. Friggin', it's more believable than Daryl somehow just ending up there.
Yeah.
He gets there on his bike.
Somehow he drives across the water on his bike to France.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's he gonna get there? Okay, if you watch the series finale, and you watch like the actual ending, we see Daryl ride off on his bike away from all the communities, and yet somehow he's gonna end up in France. I
He
don't know.
probably gets kidnapped. I would assume he gets taken. I guess
By the CRM?
either CRM or some other group. I don't know. They're gonna do something. It just
Whoever the CRM was, or whoever the scientist was talking to in World Beyond, like that group, maybe.
that
they're
could
the
be
CRM or not.
something.
Wait, so let me get this straight. So, like, not only is the Primrose team alive, but it's like they're gonna be in the U.S. and they're gonna kidnap Daryl, take him to France, and just like leave him there for some reason. Like,
They're just gonna drop him off there.
Or if you said the Primrose team, so like that maybe they're in like the U.S. team, whatever, and in the France team are kind of like in communication, they're in cahoots, and then whatever reason they want this, they transfer people over from country to country, and if for whatever reason they want Daryl in France, could be something like that too.
I guess.
Talk about a waste of resources. I mean,
Like I said, friggin', that should have been Rick in there. Because friggin', here's the thing, right? Is helicopter ride, you can make that believable. A guy driving off on his bike, no, you can't convince me of that one.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, Walker Dead. I'll see you later, man. Take care. The Rick and Michonne show is only 6 episodes. Showrunner Scott Gimple. I agree the casting for Sherry was good. Anyone else here that Jadis could possibly be in the Daryl show? I did hear about that, James. I did hear that, but I don't see how Jadis can be in the Daryl show because isn't she gonna be in the Rick and Michonne show? Like who's gonna be the antagonist in that show?
Jadis is everywhere.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the reason I thought you were gonna not like the finale is the fact that they literally like brought your biggest fear to life, pretty much. Like you said that you didn't want the show to end with Daryl just riding off on his. They did that.
I know. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm like, yep, they did it. But they gave us some Rick stuff, so it's like, like yeah.
I love the Rick scene.
Brian, why do you like the comic ending more than the show ending? Great question, Josh. It's because the comic ending was very final. It was very like happy, and it felt worth it. When the comic ended, it was like it showed me that all of Rick's sacrifices, everything the characters have done, it was in the end worth it. But the show, I don't get that feeling, like where everything they did was worth it. You know what I mean?
The comic was also more cohesive, but like it was more. They actually had like a storyline for the Commonwealth. In the show, the storyline was basically, Commonwealth equals bad, and everybody had the same opinion that the Commonwealth was bad. So it was basically at least for me anyway.
Hey, Matt.
Yo.
Like, how do you feel about them remixing Andrea's comic death and giving it to Rosita?
I actually like the death because friggin' here's the thing: you need something to happen in the series finale where it impacts our characters. Because here's the thing: Luke and Jules' deaths, that alone would not have cut it because they would have just been brought back to die, right? Like that's the reason they're brought back. But with Rosita's death, friggin', it leaves our characters on a bittersweet note, and I feel like it really brings Eugene's story to a good closure as well, and stuff like that. Friggin', because in the comics I can't stand Andrea's death, but yeah, the show I think did it pretty darn well.
Hold on. I think Henry says, I think the spin-off 6 episodes, the budget will be better. No filler. It'll look cool. Post-apocalyptic New York and Dead City, you know? Yeah, Henry, but the thing is, I saw pictures of Dead City. The city looks so clean. Like where's the green? Where's the destroyed? Where's the decay stuff? Like, have you guys noticed that in the promos and pictures of Dead City? Why does the city not look like Last of Us? You know, why does it look like it's still like just after the apocalypse happened? You know what I mean? Like, how come the city does not look like it should? You know?
I think it's because, like, this is just a theory I have, just from the screenshots I've seen and stuff. I think it's because the city they're in is just going to be a full-functioning city. I think there's going to be a big group running it.
But there's like zombies in the pictures too, though.
Yeah, maybe there could be, like, parts that, like, a group owns, then there's parts that are just, you know, that the dead have or something.
Like gangs and stuff?
Yeah, like something like that, or like just a big group, because friggin', this was a leak we saw, I think, about, at least, friggin', I think it was 6 months ago now, where we saw like a banner, and I forget what it was, but like, it said property of like this group, right? And it was like hung up on like a big city hall area, which kind of leads me to theorize that like a big group like owns a big chunk of New York now or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Hey, Matt.
What's up?
I stated this before, but like, like that is one thing I find cool about Dead City is that we're actually going back to a city in the Walking Dead universe, because like we haven't been to a city in the Walking Dead since season 5.
Yeah, it'll give us like low key. It'll give like Atlanta vibes. That'll be cool.
Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, the idea is cool. I just think that Maggie and Negan are just the wrong characters to go out, because when you have characters have children, that's a crutch in real life and in a zombie apocalypse. You can't have characters have kids and then they just go off to have their own adventures in their own shows. It's not that simple. When a character has a kid, it has to change them. So when they go out there and abandon their child, it makes it seem like having that child was pointless. Like, you know what I mean?
Unless they bring the kid with them, I suppose. That's like the only way, like, around it, I guess.
But that would make them bad parents too, as well. And I don't see the kids, so yeah, that's a bit of an issue.
Forgetting Herschel Jr.
Why?
Like what I meant, Brian, was how do you feel about like how does it make you feel knowing that like we haven't been to a city since season 5 of the main show?
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but the thing is, I wanted to see the city in Philadelphia, the CRM. Like, that's the city I wanted us to get back to, where it's like, oh, wow, we get to see a city location again. But I just think that New York was just I don't know, I just think they were the wrong characters, and I just feel like, I wanted to, it was the wrong city. Because I wanted to see Philadelphia, I want to see a CRM. Brian, why are Maggie and Negan together, and why is Daryl in France? I have no idea, Henry. It will probably be explained in the shows and come together like a puzzle. They aren't outright saying it to create interest. Well, I think they are somewhat saying it to create interest, Henry. I mean, it's a whole new show. They have to create hype. What if the Rick and Michonne show is all in Daryl's past? I don't know, James. How could it be in Daryl's past? That's a great question, but I don't know, because it looks like Daryl's show takes place right after the finale. So, yeah, I don't know. Predatory hated the Walking Dead ending, said it was a waste of time and it wasn't worth it. I disagree with that. I think that the ending was still good. Had some problems though. Hey, Dragon Ball Radiant, I hope they take their time developing the spin-offs well. I agree. I'm ready to see Michonne again. She's my favorite character of all time. Want to learn more maybe want to learn how to sword fight. Oh yeah, that's cool. Hi Matt, it's Josh. Oh yeah, Matt, this is for you. He said, "It's Josh. You remember me, right? I saw your recent videos."
Oh, hey, what's up, Josh?
Yeah. Negan might feel guilty. That's why. I mean, for Glenn, but it's like,
No, I think he means obviously in the ending, right? In the Walking Dead ending, Maggie Negan kind of had like a conclusive story there in a way. Like obviously she didn't really like fully forgive him, but maybe something along the lines of, because in the Dead City we see like pictures of like Maggie has like a knife to Negan, so they're mad at each other again, right? So maybe it has to do with their kids. Maybe like they're looking for Herschel or something like that for whatever reason, and Maggie's just really tensed up, and Negan's not really making it easy on her for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see, because like, yeah, I just don't know what it could be. You know, it's like, but then again, it's like, man, why is Herschel in New York? Like, so many questions.
Well, I mean, in the series finale, you could tell that Negan was regretful for killing Glenn because, I mean, like there was that scene in the series finale where he says, like, "I'm so sorry from what I took from you, from what I took from your son." So, you know, like, that moment, you can tell he regretted killing Glenn, you know?
Yeah, I see
think
what you're
the
saying.
reason.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Friggin'. I was gonna say, I think the reason we see him feel regret is, it's actually a really cool parallel, is the reason we see him feeling regret like that is because in episode 22, when they line him up and he's about to watch his pregnant wife get killed by the warden, he was, in our group's shoes as they were in 701, so he now knows what, Rick and all them felt when he killed Glenn and Abraham. He was in the same position.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't care how guilty. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Glenn, but I don't care how guilty he still feels, even years later. Why is he gonna go? Why is he gonna leave behind his child? Like, that's just, I don't know. That's still just weird to me.
His kid could be dead.
Oh my goodness. Then why? Then what was the point? Like,
That
you know
is
what I mean?
true.
I don't.
I just think they're both looking for their kids, and then that's why they're like Maggie's. It's such a like she seems so tense and like angry at Negan because they're both looking for their kids, and maybe Negan's a little more chill about it. I don't know, and Maggie's like, bro, like why aren't you like as worried as I am, or something along those lines.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, possibly Chosen. That's a good theory, but I don't know if Negan's 3-year-old child, 1, 2, 3-year-old child was missing. I can't see him just being chill. I don't know.
Yeah, not chill, but like just I don't know, just something like because like sometimes like I don't know, like actually I was gonna say like couples like in a married couple, but that's a bad example. But I don't know, just something that like they're both looking for their kids, and then and then for whatever reason, just Maggie gets easily annoyed at Negan because she's so in such a tense situation.
Yeah. Dragon Ball says, I'm pretty sure CRM is going to ambush Daryl and take him to France for some reason. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean, Dragon Ball, but we're saying that it's possible it's not going to be CRM because let's remember every time we hope something relates to CRM in the show or in the Walking Dead universe, a lot of times it doesn't. I'm saying that they aren't saying anything about why Daryl's in France to create interest. Yeah, but the thing is, I still don't understand. Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just Daryl in France. It's like, yeah, that definitely creates interest. But if it doesn't make sense for the story, I really just don't think they should do it. You know what I mean? And if it's like not going to matter in some way, like, okay, so what's gonna happen? Is Daryl gonna come across the Primrose team? Are they gonna make a cure? Like, what is the point of the Daryl show? You know what I mean? Is he gonna find his future wife or something in France? Like, what is gonna be the point of the Daryl show? You know what I mean? Like, is it CRM related, cure related, Daryl getting another girlfriend? Like, what is the point of it? Like, what do you guys think?
I feel like there's really no point of it, but I feel like it should maybe, but it wouldn't really work because these are all new characters. But I feel like because Daryl's storyline, like his character development, didn't finish in the show. He didn't, because obviously his one of his main storylines throughout the show is finding a family and sticking by them. But obviously throughout the show, he varies, like where he wants to be part of a group, but then doesn't want to be part of a group. And at the very end, they should have made him actually want to be part of the group. But obviously, no, he leaves. and he doesn't find like, and him finding like a girlfriend like Connie or something like that would make him want to be part of the group and stay more. So I feel like they could do something along those lines, but I feel like if they do in the show, it would be weird just because he's totally new characters. He has no prior relationships to any of these characters, so I feel like that would be weird. I feel like it's just they're just making the Daryl show just for the sake of doing it. But again, they could tie it up with some CRM stuff.
What do you guys think?
Like, what was the question?
Just like, well, what is the point of Daryl being in France? Is he going to come across the people and is he going to bring them back to America? They're going to make a cure. Is it going to be CRM related? You know, is he going to find out about Rick there? Is he going to find his future girlfriend or something there? Like, why is Daryl in France? Like why is Daryl in France? Like, what is going to be the goal and what is going to like carry over into whatever's after the Daryl show with Daryl?
Oh, to be honest, like a full honest opinion, I personally think the reason he's there is just because the freaking The Walking Dead needs more spin-offs. But I mean, if we gotta go for an actual canonical explanation, then I'll go and say like friggin' I don't know, the closest thing I could see is like the CRM take him there, but like here's the thing. That's going to really take a lot of convincing for that to make sense, but that's the only logical thing I could see, because why would Daryl voluntarily just be like, you know what, I'm going to look for Rick, but in the same time, I want to go on a vacation to France.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, man.
Walking Dead said in the chat that he thinks that it's for like making like a bigger story about like how the apocalypse all started. I kind of agree with that, because like I want it to be about Daryl's character development and like finishing his character arc, but that's not going to happen. If they wanted to finish his character arc, they would have done it in this show. So it's not going to be about that. So I think it's going to be about the CRM and not necessarily the cure, but like just more information on the world.
And like didn't the outbreak start in France?
The outbreak, I think so.
Okay, so according to Fear, Gloria was the first victim, but that's not true though, because there was certain lines of dialogue in season 1 or whatever that said it was starting somewhere else. But I don't think France was France was the first society to fall, first country to fall.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, it's been quite a while since I've seen this episode. In TS19, doesn't Dr. Jenner straight up say where it started, I think?
No, he said the French were the closest to figuring out a cure. They were the last ones.
Oh yeah, they were the last ones to fall. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's right.
Which doesn't make sense. You'd think they would be the first to fall if the apocalypse happened there, you know what I mean?
Unless the CRM originates from there, possibly, I guess.
Man, see, like, there's so much, like, assuming, like, guessing that we have to do, and it's like, I just want an explanation, you know?
Yeah, so Fear said, like, Dave Erickson, they said that Gloria was patient 0, but that's not true, because in season 2, the group goes to, like, this house on, like, an island, right, and they talk to the dad there, and he says how it started from, I can't remember, but it started like from the west coast or whatever, and then went all the way to like the other side. And he talks about like the different places that it affected, like Vancouver in Canada, and then a bunch of other cities in the U.S. So that the whole Gloria thing, be patient 0, is not true. But I think it started around in either U.S. or Canada, or I think it originated in U.S. and then it went to Vancouver, and then around there.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys, to chat. I can't really think of a good reason why. Maybe Negan is seeking forgiveness and Maggie not wanting to deal with him tells him to go home. I think you guys are misunderstanding the reason why Maggie and Negan go to New York. Well, Josh, we're not misunderstanding the reason. We're just trying to figure out realistically why the characters would go to New York and leave their kids. James says Annie Kid was just helping Negan's redemption arc. Negan, wife on his knees lineup, but it seems that was their only reason for being. Both may die off screen. Why are you jumping to conclusions about Negan abandoning his child? It will probably be explained in the show, you know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Here's the thing, Henry, because characters have abandoned their kids, you know. Clementine abandoned AJ, which in that non-canon, you know, Clementine lives. Like, let's just be clear about that. Michonne did abandon her kids during the Whisper War, and You know what I mean? And it's just like, and if Maggie and Negan, here's the thing: if the kids are not with them, if they're still back at the Commonwealth, then technically Negan and Maggie abandoned them. So we're just kind of noticing that The Walking Dead's kind of doing this thing where it's like, yeah, the parents are just kind of abandoning their kids, sort of thing, and just making it seem like it's no big deal. But it's like, no, it kind of is. I wonder if the CRM is splitting up people looking for Rick. I don't see a reason to do that though. Like, wouldn't they just kill them? Like, because Michonne caught up. I think Daryl's show is mainly for telling the bigger story. Yeah, about what you said, James, about the bigger story. To me, finding out about how the apocalypse started, what's it going to do for the story, for the franchise? Like, is it going to set up a cure, or is it going to be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, so now that they're scared because they're not hidden anymore, Daryl can't leave because the variant infected, so he's forced to help the other survivors so he can get out of town. I wouldn't mind if we got to see Michonne journey to the helicopter. I already feel like it'd be better than... I feel like that would be better than us have already been. The theory is that the group Morgan and Madison are with are another chapter of the CRM. I don't think Padre are the CRM. A rogue element, same goal that broke away. Well, that's my theory. Gimple, I thought hinted that it did start in France. I don't know, James. That's a good question. I feel like the kids are in good hands. With who though? With who? If they're abandoned by their parents, then what? I wouldn't leave them. But that's my biggest question about The Walking Dead. How the outbreak started. Yeah. In a way, I kind of agree with that, Epic. In a way, yes. I'm kind of like, okay, how did the apocalypse start? But the thing is that that's kind of going more into the past, like, you know what I mean? Like, how, like, but we're in the future of The Walking Dead, you know what I mean? So I don't see how, like, figuring out how the apocalypse started, like, you know what I mean? How's it going to help the future, you know? I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious on that. Mentions 5 states, and I'll mention them. Yeah. Hey guys, if you have any, like, last things you want to say, like, I'm going to be ending the stream soon, just to let you guys know. But thank you guys, by the way. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you guys so much. And everyone in the chat, thank you guys as well. Robert Kerman implied it was an alien virus. I think he joked about that.
He was joking, yeah.
Yeah, he was joking. Like,
that was the original premise. Like, here's the thing. That whole alien thing was literally when he was writing the original first couple issues of the comics, so that way, it would take off, because they wouldn't let him do just a generic zombie story, so he lied about it, and then they kind of just went along with it and stuff like that. Yeah. And then there is the Rick Grimes, I think it's 3000 comics, where it's like a Star Wars meets Walking Dead parody, but that's not canon, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's just, I don't know. I just, I really, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I really don't want to see, the CR, I don't want to really see the, like, stuff happening in France and Padre and this group, when it's like, to me, I just really want to see the CRM, and, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, with The Walking Dead, I feel like there's only so many things you could set up, like, before fans are like, okay, wait, what about this thing? What about the CRM? We still haven't gotten answers on that. You know what I mean? But then it's like, you introduce us to, boom, France and the beginning of the outbreak, like what happened, but we're still just like, hey, wait, we're still waiting on answers on CRM and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I feel like fans could be overwhelmed when it's like too much stuff going on in The Walking Dead. Because yeah, like, remember season 7 with Gimple and all that, remember how we just got, oh, hey Dan,
what up guys?
Dan.
Hey guy, hey man, thanks for coming.
No problem.
Hey Dan.
What's up, Epic?
I hope you had a great Christmas.
I sure did. I hope you guys all had a great one too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had a good Christmas.
Hey Dan, I said to Brian earlier that my biggest question for The Walking Dead is how'd the outbreak start?
Man, I don't know if they ever really I mean, it's possible maybe at some point the CRM will share something at some point, but I don't know. We haven't really gotten anything yet.
Yeah, that's true. Um, okay, Dan, I wanted to ask you, like, if you told me, like, years ago that, like, hey, The Walking Dead's gonna do this Avengers Endgame, Fear the Walking Dead characters, like Walking Dead World Beyond, main show characters, Commonwealth, Portland, CRM, all that, I would have been, like, amazed. I would be like, man, I can't wait for the future. But, I'm really just wondering, what is the future of The Walking Dead? Because if Rick and Michonne's story ends in season 1, I don't know, like, just the spin-offs are just gonna, like, continue. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that as a Walking Dead ending. And some people bring up, like, oh, wait, what about a season 12? Or maybe they'll do a movie. But, like, to me, I don't know. Because, like, didn't Andy and Denai say they're done? They're done with this franchise after their the Walking Dead Summit. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I would say, honestly, here's the thing, right? Like, I think in terms of like Rick and Michonne and like quote unquote their story being done, I mean, it's possible it's done, but at the same time, we also got to remember that we're talking about Gimple here. And I could also see a scenario where he's like, yeah, these are just the 6 episodes. That's it. After this, like, it's over. And then next thing you know, they announce a couple years from now, like, oh yeah, Andy and Denai have extra time again. Yeah, they're going to do like a season 12 type of thing. And then, here we go again.
Classic Scotty G.
That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, like I said before, like the main reason I'm watching the Rick and Michonne show is because The Walking Dead started with Rick, and I want to see how their story ends.
I mean, they can do an expanded franchise. I mean, they're already doing one, although certain ones aren't going too well. But I'll say, I mean, they could either do that or they will do like an endgame type of thing where it's like it starts with Rick, it ends with Rick. But I'm like, man, I don't know with Gimple if he's going to try to drag this out, which I feel like that's what he's going to try to do.
No, like I'm just saying the main show started with Rick.
Oh yeah, and it should end with Rick. Although I'm still very split on if that'll happen or not.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, like Dan, I mentioned it earlier. I kind of said, like, I feel like the Walking Dead franchise, like AMC's version of The Walking Dead, I feel like it needs to end with Rick, like this franchise, because if it doesn't, I just feel like that'd be kind of disrespectful to Rick's character and, you know what I mean, Andrew Lincoln, because I'm just going to be like, okay, because here's one of the things. Is Rick actually, like, his story's going to end where he's okay that Maggie, Negan, and Daryl are just out there somewhere and he might never see them again. And also the CRM are out there. He didn't defeat them. And, like, they know where he lives. They know he lives in Alexandria and he's just okay with letting them live after what they did to him. And I don't know, just that doesn't feel like Rick to me, would do that. And I hope we don't get that kind of ending where it's like, oh yeah, that's how Rick's story ends. He doesn't lead the charge against the CRM. It's going to be Iris or something like that. Like, no, like, come on. It has to be Rick.
See,
hey Dan.
Yeah, what's up?
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the best moments in the series finale. Getting to see Rick and Michonne, like that was such an awesome scene.
It felt very futuristic. I think that's actually what I like about it. But I'll say one thing. I think it's pretty obvious based off those last like four and a half minutes. Like, it's pretty obvious the way they did it that Judith and RJ, like, you see them at the very end. They are very obviously setting up a reunion there, like with Rick and his kids. But it's like the biggest one that is so tricky is Daryl. Because I'm like, if you only have 6 episodes with Rick and Daryl's in France, like, I don't know about you guys, but this is just my opinion. I actually do care more about the Daryl reunion with Rick just because the scene when he blew himself up and like the look on Daryl's face, for them not to have a reunion there would be, that'd be insulting.
Yeah, I might agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. I just, that's what I mean. I just feel like all these characters, Rick, Maggie, Negan, Daryl, you got to end their stories when Rick's stories ends, in my personal opinion. Because, like I said, I just don't see how you could end the Walking Dead franchise without characters having a reunion. And this is also one thing I want to bring up. If I was Scott Gimple, I would film Andrew Lincoln and Denai and Kaylee Fleming and the actor for RJ. I would film their scene first in the Rick and Michonne show because Kaylee Fleming and RJ, like, you know, the actor for him, they're gonna look so old by the time if there are more seasons of the Rick and Michonne show, they're gonna look so old. And I'll be like, okay, we filmed the first scene of the series just in case of the age issue. You know what I mean?
That's what they did with the Avatar movies. They filmed obviously they filmed 2 and 3 at the same time, but they also filmed like the scenes in the later movies with the kids, just because they're younger and also. But then again, there is CGI. But yeah, that's what they did with those movies.
Well, I mean, Kaylee Fleming in season 11, like you can tell, Judith in that season was already looking so old.
Yeah, she definitely grew up a lot for sure. I mean, we didn't get the alternate ending that they were like kind of talking about afterwards, which I'm like, man, I don't know if they did anything with that, but I'm like, man, if they did go ahead and film that, like, it would be nice to get that at some point, but who knows?
Well, I just hope it's not canon, because, like, yeah, you know my feelings on it, Dan. Like, the cringe. And James gave me this idea, so credit to him. From The Walking Dead Explained, where it was like the Scooby-Doo gang, like the mystery gang. Like, I just don't want to see that, like, in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like Zoink Scoob.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Epic?
You agree with what I said, though, that Kaylee in season 11, she was already looking so old?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, she didn't look too bad, but, like, yeah, it's getting kind of noticeable. And James asked, will Morgan find the bottle Rick threw into the river? That is a great question. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I heard that Rick was writing in the bottle, I think about the people I lost. So you're telling me that Rick actually, the words he was saying was actually in the bottle, not, this is where the CRM are. They're in Philadelphia, massive group. They kept me for 10 years. So I'm just like, even if someone finds that bottle, what's it going to matter? It's not going to help them at all against the CRM.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Dan.
What's up?
Do you want Morgan and Rick to reunite?
Oh, I definitely want that. I mean, my faith in it is pretty small based off where he's at right now, but I will say, though, like, they need to, at least in my opinion, I think Fear is utterly just, it's garbage at this point with this new season. So I'd say that theory of, like, oh, should season 8 be the final season? At least in my opinion, it should be. Do, like, a good season, if you even can, and somehow merge this together, because Fear is just, yeah, no. You need to get Morgan and Rick back.
Group hug, hugs everyone. See you guys later. Okay, Josh, thanks for coming, man. And yeah, I'm going to be ending the stream in a little bit. I don't know, maybe another 5-10 minutes, or it depends. But yeah, I just yeah, with the future of The Walking Dead, it's like I said, I'm not saying the future is doomed, because I don't know what AMC's doing. I don't know what they have plans for. Could the Rick and Michonne show have a second season? It could. And I hope it does, because one season is not enough. But like I said, man, and Dan, one of the things I loved about the comic ending was kind of seeing Rick's sacrifices worth it. Where it's like, oh wow, like, yeah, now it makes sense. They give Rick a statue, they honor him, all that stuff. I want to see that in live action. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see Judith with her own child. You know, Rick is an old man now. Maybe president. I don't know. I mean, come on, like, that would be so awesome. You have the Civic Republic, Commonwealth, Portland, all these cities still, standing, and, and like CRM have been dismantled, and, now they're no longer, murderers, and, you know what I mean? They're reformed, and, like, I don't know. I would just love that as, like, the final thing of The Walking Dead. I just hope we get there. You know what I mean?
They could. You go, Dan.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I am very split on, like, the ending, because I love the ending, as I've said before. Like, I love that it ends with Rick, looking for his family. You got like the city background, same thing, and the smile. It's almost like I've done this before. Like, I can do it again. Like one of those type of things. But I love that. I love that. But I also agree we need to get to a point where it's like everything that Rick's gone through, like these 10 years that he's been gone, or however long it's been at this point, it's been worth it at some point. But it's just. Yeah, it seems like his story is just going to end when it's like, oh, Andrew Lincoln's done, so he's done. Oh, okay, that's it.
Hey, Matt. Like Matt, do you also agree that Morgan and Rick should reunite?
Oh, they better. That's all I'm saying.
For the statue thing, I think I would love to see that, but I think they would because the Rick and Michonne show only has one season, right? So they would have to do a whole war thing with the Commonwealth and the CRM and make Rick the savior, right? And just kind of leading the charge and all that stuff. But I don't think they're going to do that one season. The reason why I say they have to do that to make a statue for him is because most of the people in the Commonwealth don't know who the heck Rick is, right? So why would they want a statue? In the comics, obviously everyone knew who Rick was. But yeah, in the show, most of the people won't know who Rick is, so they would have to make him a savior type for the war between Commonwealth and CRM. But I don't know if they're going to do that in one season.
But the statue could be in a Civic Republic.
There is a way you can make that work. It's kind of out there, but hear me out. You could do it to where if you do a quote unquote, which this is very unlikely at this point, but if you do a season 12 type of thing where it is an endgame type of situation and you get everybody together and stuff, I could see it where he does get a statue in the Commonwealth because the CRM, they do actually, which would make sense too, in terms of numbers, they would overpower Commonwealth for a decent amount of this war, but ultimately Rick would win. He's the one that does win the war. And the Commonwealth almost does a statue of him in a way to thank him, because of this Rick Grimes that ended the war, the Commonwealth is able to continue on because of what he did, one of those type of things.
Yeah, they would definitely need more episodes though than like I said, than I know you said they might let it do a season 12, but yeah, they would definitely need more episodes than just 6 though to do that.
Oh yeah.
But if they did season 12, wouldn't that be kind of false advertisement or something?
Yeah, it kind of would. But I mean, they kind of done that in the past with certain other things too.
A lot of shows have done it. A lot of shows have said oh, it's over and whatever. But here's the thing: 11/24 is a good ending. But I mean, let's be honest here. When you look at that ending in that episode, yeah, it was well done. But is that really the last of the story? No, definitely not.
They could just say it's bonus episodes.
Yeah, exactly. An epilogue.
Not those again. Oh.
Yeah.
Just as long as the episodes are not fucking Tales season 1 episode 2.
Oh god. Yeah, I hope not, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish. Do we know what PPP is? Yeah, I assumed it's just the CRM logo that they retconned, but now it's oh wait, you know that retcon we did? We're retconning that retcon. It's man, I don't know, why does EMC do this? They did it with Madison's death, they did it with the CRM, they did it with the variant zombies. How many times can a series retcon a previous retcon?
Yeah, I don't think we're ever getting PPP again.
Did you want to say something, Dan? Or maybe with someone else?
Oh no. Well, all I was gonna say is the whole variance thing. I love it because I think it's kind of a cool coming full circle to season 1. But I'm just sitting here also thinking though they're definitely not old. They're not done because we're gonna get them. I'm sure in the Rick show. Daryl show, I'm definitely thinking so because that's where they set it up, in France and stuff. And then Dead City, maybe. That one's hard. That one's hard to tell.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel knowing that, Dead City, we're going to be in a major city again, and we haven't been to a city since season 5?
I honestly love the idea. My only concern with it, to be honest, because I only have one, like visually and stuff, and just like concept wise, it should be awesome. My only worry, and again, I hate to bring this up, but let's be honest here, the budget of The Walking Dead is not what it used to be at all. So I just hope they're able to pull it off in a way that looks really good and doesn't look so like, these are obviously sets, but so far it looks good.
Because, like, it just makes me wonder why, like, it's taking them this long to return to a major city. Because, like I said, we haven't been to one since season 5.
Look at Commonwealth for an example. I mean, the Commonwealth, I like to cut them slack a lot because I understand that it's a low budget, but I'm not going to also deny the fact that when you look at the Commonwealth, you're like, wow, this show does not have the budget it used to. Wow.
Well, yeah, but I just wonder, why is it taking them this long to go to a city?
That's why, in my opinion, is because, you know, like a cityscape and all this stuff, like you gotta have a good enough budget for that. Like I'm talking, well, okay, maybe not to this level, but like an HBO Last of Us type of thing. Like Walking Dead will never get to that point, which is kind of sad.
And like this is one of the main reasons why Last of Us is looking better than The Walking Dead, because like that shot in the Last of Us trailer where it like zooms out and you see the building leaning on the other building, like in the game, it looks fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah. They did do that earlier on in the show, if I remember correctly, and they also did that in Fear too. So,
Fear had a big like cityscape and stuff like that, like in the early season and stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we didn't see that much of LA in the first season.
Yeah, they kind of ran away from there.
Yeah, I'm back, guys. Let's see. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I definitely don't see Jeffrey Dean Morgan making it out of Dead City. Hope I'm wrong now, but he's a big actor. I'm not sure how much longer he would want to go. I guess I kind of missed what you guys were talking about. Do you guys think that Morgan might, I don't know, leave Fear if Fear keeps going, or do you guys think they're going to end Fear with Morgan?
I hope they end it.
Yeah, same. I just, I don't know. Fear the Walking Dead, ever since Ian and Andrew took over, and I mean, I know it's been said a million times over, but it's the truth. I mean, what can I say? Like, Fear the Walking Dead is not that good right now at all. They either need to get the writing up to the point that it was, at least to like 6A tier, at least something like that, or if you can't, then yeah, you need to end it.
Well, me personally, Fear the Walking Dead has kind of been going downhill since season 4B. Like, don't even get me started on Martha.
Oh man, that's just one of the bad things too.
Yeah.
Let's say that they only want to end the show if Lenny James leaves. I feel like Lenny James is only going to want to leave if they tell him like, hey, if you're going to be in like a Rick thing or something like that. I feel like if they don't tell him anything, he's going to want to stay on the show. Even though he knows, I'm pretty sure Lenny James knows the show is his butt.
Why stay? I'm sorry. He needs to respect himself, man.
It's a paycheck.
It can't be worth it, Dan. It can't be worth it.
And like me personally, isn't that the reason why Lenny James went to Fear? You know, like because he wanted more screen time.
Yeah, because they were gonna kill him off, so they sent him over there, and then they're just like, yeah, well, we were gonna kill your character off. Which, first of all, you could have done that. You could have actually swapped that with Carl, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Dan. So someone asked me earlier about Jadis being in the Daryl show, but I feel like Jadis is gonna be in the Rick and Michonne show. But what do you think? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I would say there's more of a chance for her to be in the Rick show, just because with Daryl's show, like, I mean, I guess we don't know per se, but I don't think she's all the way down in France. I feel like it's more likely for her to be down like where this is going on right now. And I'm not even going to lie. I think it would actually be an amazing addition for the Rick show if you got to see Michonne versus Jadis, because she's been trained. like she's been trained, but keep in mind, like it is still Michonne, so I feel like the fight would actually be kind of interesting because I feel like Jadis would start strong, but then Michonne would just like after a while she'd overpower.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. I want to see Michonne versus Jadis, like sort of you stole my man for like 10 years, like a decade, like. It's a brutal fight, and Michonne kind of redeems herself from that season 7 finale fight where she lost. She kind of lost to that trash woman. I mean, it would be kind of like redeeming her, but then also it would be like, we know the last fight Jadis was in, she killed Huck, and maybe they have us think like us for a second that she stabbed Michonne, but Michonne's the one who stabbed her. Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Rick, like always is like, I mean, I hate to say it, but Rick's always bad at fights, and I always find it funny that Michonne always did good in fights, and it's like the second she hooked up with Rick, it's like, oh, now she starts losing fights too. I'm like, man, does Rick have some sort of like, what does he do to people? Like now she can't fight either.
It's like the Morgan disease. Like whoever he's with just turns into an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, like I will agree, Dan. Rick, he like Rick hasn't been the best fighter in the main show. I mean, he lost to the governor and almost got killed by the governor. So
Yeah, he needs to redeem himself. Like, if we're only getting 6 episodes here, I need to see like Rick season 5 episode 15 looking guy, blood all over his face, losing it, like killing the leader of the CRM and like making a major just stand, like really making sure that when he kills the leader of CRM, like it's known, like, okay, don't mess with this guy because look what he just did. Like they need to do that because man, he's been losing a lot of fights.
Well, like me personally, Dan, I know you'd love to see season 5 Rick again.
Gimple did say that we're gonna see like a Red Machete type Rick, which I'm like, man, for 6 episodes, I mean, it's gonna be pretty condensed, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
No, I know season 5 Rick is your favorite Rick.
Oh yeah, he not only is he my favorite character, like in that season, it's my favorite character and season for that character. So yeah, I love season 5 Rick.
Hey Dan, I made this comment earlier, and you probably saw it. I feel like if they got Dominic Purcell as General Beale, you know what I mean, like do you think that's good casting for General Beale? Because, and I mentioned this with Chosen, I want someone tough to be General Beale, because like it has to fit, and also like in The Walking Dead, like I don't want any skinny leaders, no more skinny leaders, no popes, like, you know what I mean? I want the guy in charge of the CRM. I want him to be a beast, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like Dominic Purcell is perfect as General Beale.
Yeah.
Hold on, Epic. Did you want to say something, Dan?
No, all I was gonna say is like we need to redeem ourselves for Pope, because I honestly, like I still can't get over it even to this day. Like that group at the end of like 1102, 1103, doing all this stuff they were doing, like it was, man, like it had your heart racing there for a bit, and then you get to 1104 and it's like, all right.
Hey Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Epic.
Like, do you think General Beale will be the main villain of the Rick and Michonne show?
I hope so, Epic, and he has to be, because there's only 6 episodes. So to me, I'm just like, okay, listen, the only Jadis and Beale, I feel like they have to be the antagonists. Like just 2 antagonists straight through 6 episodes. I think that's doable. But I mean, like, sort of, you know what I mean? Like, no more. Like, I don't want to see any other antagonists. Just have Jadis and General Beale, because, I just feel like that makes the most sense in my opinion.
Well, I'm so happy that Rick, like, that was one of my biggest like worries for that final episode, like, because we didn't know if we were going to see Rick or not. But let's be honest, like, we all kind of thought he was coming back in one way, shape, or form, but I am so happy that when that scene started at the end of 1124, that he didn't like have like memory loss, because I was about to just flip out. And I was also about to say, like, man, if he has memory loss, like, how much you want to bet the Jadis would probably turn him over to the bad side and say, yeah, you're my husband, so, like, stand by me. Like, you know she would have done that.
Oh, gross. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know what you mean, and yeah, I cannot wait for this show. Like I said, I just hope it's good. I hope there's a second season, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, um, whether or not they'll do it, season two. But like I said, man, oh, and here's something I want to bring up. Dan, do you think there should be big deaths in the Rick and Michonne show? Like, do you think? Because some people are like, okay, if it's only 6 episodes, Rick and Michonne have to die to conclude their stories because it's like they can't defeat the CRM. But then again, like they're not going to have reunions with the other characters. So it's like, so some people said like, okay, the only way this could work is Rick and Michonne die. But I kind of disagree with that.
Here's the thing: you end it with Rick and Michonne, and like that scene at the end of episode 24 of the main show. If you end it like that in this really optimistic way, Rick's like smiling, like you get that feel like, man, when this show starts, like they're just, yeah, something's gonna go down here. And like if they just died in that show, I'm not gonna lie, that would be a very just like, oh man, like I used to like that scene in the series finale, but now I don't because it just leads to, some death. Like, to me, any way you do it, I don't really care what kind of callbacks you have, like, inserted in those scenes. If you kill Rick in that show, what's the point? You may as well have killed him on the bridge. Like, the reason he's alive, at least in my opinion right now, is because he's going to be the man that ends all this conflict. But we'll see.
I can see Andrew Lincoln because like I have no real reason to think this, but I just feel like Andrew Lincoln wants to be killed off. Like I feel like he's gonna ask the writers to kill him off, mainly because of the like Denai and Andrew kind of seem like they don't really want to do it anymore. Not because they don't like it, but they just don't want to do it anymore. But I feel like Rick does or Andrew does want to be killed off.
Yeah, and if they do it, I mean, like I said, like if it's his like ask, like he wants that, like that's what he wants to happen, then I guess you can do it. Just, man, you gotta have it matter. Like, we need for it to be something big, and I don't know. Like, it's really hard for me right now to imagine them killing him off and to make it work. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that'd be a pretty big blow to Daryl if Daryl ever reunited with Rick and then Rick died. And, like, that'd be man. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If Rick just died and Daryl just like, I was stuck in France this whole time. Like,
which might happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, Dan, Chosen was making this joke earlier. We were joking around how like, yeah, they have to have Rick defeat the CRM soon because we're like, these characters are in their 50s now. Like Rick's in his 50s, Daryl's in his 50s, and we're like, what are we gonna see Rick with gray hair and defeat the CRM? Like, like seriously, like they're gonna be like senior citizens. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, think about it this way: if the Rick show airs, because recently Denai Guerrero even said like the plan is right now it's for either on Halloween or after Halloween of next year they want to have it out. So if that's the case, we will have been waiting 5 years to see the true return. Like, yeah, there's episode 24, but the true return of Rick and Michonne. So we waited 5 years from that. Like, what are we gonna have to do? Wait another 5 years for this, like, quote unquote, season 12, if they even do that? That's another 5 years. It takes 10 years for Rick to finally, like, do that. Like, in our time, that would be insane.
Yeah, and can you imagine he gets to see Judith and them back, and then just imagine shows Judith and she's like a full-on adult, she's pregnant. It's like, and then Rick is just like, what? How long have I been gone? Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. I hope this is see that's why I hope The Walking Dead it doesn't take too long because like I want a satisfying conclusion to this franchise, kind of like how the comics did. But obviously, it's just bigger and better. Bigger and better as far as like, hey, there's World Beyond, there's Fear characters, so there's a little bit more, stuff added to it. But I still overall just want that, and then also like, do you think they are gonna do the do you think they are going to do that comic ending where someone becomes president? Like,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they got to do it at some point. It's just that I'm gonna say yeah, but here's the problem though: is like I was admittedly kind of dreading the end of the main show, and this is why. Like before seeing the series finale, I remember after episode 23, I'm like, oh man, like I don't know how I feel about this. Like I'm enjoying these episodes, but do they have enough time to wrap this up? But of course they didn't wrap everything up. But I was pleasantly surprised on how much I liked the ending of the show. I guess I just like how it all came together. I like how they did a lot of it. But it's like the other part of me is also sitting there like, man, I'm good with that. That's the temporary end. But is that the ending that we're all going to remember? The legendary ending that we all remember when we're all in our 60s? Like, no, we're not going to. Like, there needs to be an ultimate ending here.
Hey, Brian.
Yep, go ahead.
Like, didn't they already do that technically by having Ezekiel and Mercer, like, take over the Commonwealth?
Yeah, but the thing is that Ezekiel's just governor, I guess, but nobody is president, and then also, if they have to address the CRM, and realistically, and then there's also Portland. I can't see, if somebody's going to become president or whatever of something like in The Walking Dead, like all the zombies are dead, all their like the hordes are gone. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if you guys agree, but I just feel like you got to have, after they defeat the CRM, I feel like you have to have Portland, Commonwealth, and Civic Republic have some sort of alliance. You know what I mean? Where it's like they all share the country. You know what I mean? And somebody is a president of all three communities, kind of thing. Where it's like this.
Oh yeah, they would.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep
Go
going.
ahead, Chosen. No, go ahead.
Oh, I would just say, well, they would probably merge with the Commonwealth because that's basically what the Commonwealth does, right?
Well, Civic Republic's bigger though, so I just feel like you kind of form this mutual rights, alliance sort of thing, where it's like, okay, these are three separate cities, but they're gonna be building to one nation, and like they're gonna retake the country together instead of just like separately,
Well, yeah, that's what the Commonwealth does in the comics. Like, they don't have any walls or anything for like Greenville and like this alliance with the what is it, the Western Front or whatever. They just like basically talk to people and commune, like walk over there and have like guards patrolling, but they don't have any walls or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Okay. Go ahead, Danny.
Like me personally, I don't know why. Like, even though we're probably not going to see Hilltop and Alexandria again, but the fact that they're still like alive and thriving in this universe, it makes me feel happy.
Hilltop, I mean, yeah, Alexandria, I'm very happy for it. Like, at the end of the show, it actually does, like, look really good. I gotta tell you, ever since 11B, it's always been bothering me. Like, why did Maggie go back to this, like, burnt, like, nothing is even working anymore place? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Dan, did you want to say something earlier? About.
No, I was just gonna say, like, man, you talk about like this merging thing between Commonwealth and CRM. I'm like, man, like, if we're gonna go full merging, then you may as well have like some new outfits. Like, you get like a gray outfit or something. It's like, you get some people that are like walking up, like, wait, where are you? Commonwealth or CRM? Oh, I don't know. Who knows anymore?
Yeah, it's like you see soldiers from wearing this outfit, and it's like, oh, you're from the Civic Republic. It's like, like the military is like. It's kind of like our the U.S. military, where it's like, okay, you're still under the same military. It's just that you wear different outfits, and you come from different areas. But it's like, you stood the ranking system. It's all the same. And man, dude, if I see a Commonwealth soldier in black and red armor, like, dude, I will lose it. That would be amazing.
That'd actually be cool.
That's such a missed opportunity from the show and the comics to just not have like different ranks other than Mercer.
Did you see the picture, Dan?
Hey, Dan.
Oh, what's up, Epic?
Like I said to Brian earlier, like because of season 11, CRM are gonna wipe the floor with the Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's the part that gets me, right? Is like, if we're gonna have some sort of like big ultimate war here, which is what we're all kind of hoping for, I don't know if this means anything, but man, we're either being thrown off right now, and this group that Michonne's with is going to get annihilated in this 6-episode run,
Probably.
or they are going to help in numbers, and they will help our group. Who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But then again, we have Portland too to think about. There's somewhere out there. I guess Iris is leading them. I know you don't care for that, Dan, but we do need Portland. Unfortunately, as much as you hate Iris, we need her leading Portland to the CRM. Like
that character. The thing is, full well they're probably going to end up doing some sort of connection. Which honestly, depending on how they do it, it's fine. It's just, oh man, like don't bring that character back. I do not want Iris back.
Yes, Iris must come back.
Yep, she must, apparently. Somehow that character has a fan base. I would love to see people's perspective on that, to be honest.
I never disliked Iris. Like, I never liked her. I never disliked her. The only character I really disliked was Silas.
For me, it's the acting for Iris. It's just,
Same.
I don't know, it ain't there for me.
Not at all.
Well, hey, Chosen.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people don't like Madison and Fear, but, me, it's kind of the opposite. I've always liked her.
Yeah, I like Madison and Fear seasons 1 to 3, but I could care less about fake Madison in seasons 4 and onward. And same with Alicia.
The baby thief.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the season 7 finale, because I was gonna say, like, I don't disagree when people say, like, Madison's good in season 3. Like, I don't love the character, but I will say she has her moments. I will give her that. She does have moments, and Kim Dickens as an actress is really good. It's just, oh man, season 7, and I said it the moment they announced it. I remember everybody called me crazy back in the day too. They're like, Dan, this is gonna be a great return. Madison's gonna like come back and blow you all away. And I remember I'm sitting there, I'm like, remember the writers of this show. And of course she came back, and it was just about as laughable as I thought it'd be, to be honest.
Yeah, she became Darth Vader with the breathing and shit.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to forget about that in season 8, the whole breathing stuff?
I hope they do, because here's the thing. Fear doesn't have logic, so let's just say she magically healed from the breathing issue, so we don't have to hear her frickin' doing that every frickin' episode of season 8.
well, like, the main thing I don't like about Fear is the fact that they never showed how she got out of the stadium.
They never will.
I mean,
they don't even know.
The furthest thing we're going to see, guys, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, we're going to see, like, 2 timelines in season 8. No, like, the most we're going to see is the furthest, like, back we're going to go is that interview process. Like, yeah, we may see flashbacks of what happened when she was let in there, but that's the most. Like, we're not going to see anything else. And, I mean, who knows if she was allowed in there, too, like, come to think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I want to ask you all one last question before I end the stream, because I do have to end it. You guys can still talk, but I do have to end the stream. The last thing I want to ask is if we do get Commonwealth, CRM, Portland War, we get this big Walking Dead endgame thing, who do you think they should kill off? You know what I mean? Like, major characters, minor characters, who do you think from all 3 shows they should kill off? Do you think like we should get some big deaths? Like something like Negan. Or something like Hope's dad, like Minor, like what do you guys think as far as deaths? Like with the war, when the war with the CRM, like if we ever get that, like who would you kill off if they did a season 12 or Walking Dead endgame movie? Who would you kill off? And this will be the last question for everyone.
I mean, I'm just gonna leave it pretty simple. People are gonna hate me for this too. Like, I'm prepared for this. People are gonna be like, "What?" But this is just my opinion. Not right away, because you do have to have this big reunion. But I say, if you do have like a 12th season, let's say it's another like 16 episodes or something. Like, you do give people enough episodes to get like a big war, and they do an all-out war per se done right, might I add. But anyway, if you do, I say you do kill Daryl. And you make it a major moment. Here's the thing. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But do I think it would be an amazing motivator for Rick and for fans to just be like, oh, this general, like, whatever the hell his name is, Bill or Beal or whatever his name is at this point, like we need to take him out. Like that moment, and Rick loses Daryl. Only like couple months, let's say, after that reunion. That would be insane. I don't know if I would necessarily do it, but I think that'd be a pretty crazy moment.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty interesting. What about you, Matt?
Friggin', I'm actually in the same boat with like that idea. Yeah, Daryl needs to die for sure. Friggin', after that, it honestly all depends who's even going to be in this quote unquote like 12th season. Like if there's any Fear characters or Tails characters, Will Be On characters, all that stuff. Friggin', I would say most of the main show characters I would not kill though because I like their endings in season 11. Like for example, I would never kill Father Gabriel now or Eugene and stuff like that. Friggin' Mercer, I wouldn't touch any of them characters. But like maybe some Fear characters I'd kill is like friggin', I don't know, most of that original cast, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Friggin', I don't know.
Yeah, I take out all like pretty much all the Fear characters, a couple of World Beyond characters, and like maybe 2 characters from the main show, like something like Negan and Michonne. Like you know what I mean? Like Negan and Michonne are killed. It's kind of this thing of like, wow, like Michonne literally just reunited with Rick, but it's like Michonne raised their kids and she found him, and now she dies, and now Rick has to take care of their kids for the rest of his life. Now that Michonne's dead, I would just make this poetic, like just tragic. You know what I mean? Like poetically tragic. And like as far as Negan, it's like they're never gonna forgive him, so it's just like he dies, and it's just like that. It's a sad death, and that's what I would do.
Michonne I wouldn't kill. Negan I would kill as an old man, and basically like a 30 to 20-year-old Herschel Jr. would hunt him down, and they'd settle it once and for all when Herschel Jr. is an adult, and he would kill him.
That'd be incredible.
Oh,
Honestly,
that.
like yeah, something like that. And like Rick and Michonne, as many people always say, like, oh, like they're gonna die, just wait for it. Like, I still don't want that to happen. I still want Rick to come out as the ultimate, hero, like in the comic books. But I will say though, one thing that definitely gets me all the time, and as I mentioned like earlier, yeah, killing Daryl, yeah, like that would be a major moment. Now, do I think it would happen? No. AMC is like, they're not going to get rid of Norman Reedus. I would still bet that even after this big season 12, they're going to be sitting there like, well, Norman Reedus is like in his, like 60s now? We can do something with him. Let's, throw him in some.
And like me personally, I have a feeling that when Herschel is an adult, he's going to look like Glenn.
Oh, definitely.
Agreed.
All right, guys. Is that everything?
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
Same.
I was gonna answer your question. So
Okay, yeah.
I think killing off like characters that aren't having their own spin-offs on the show is like, I feel like if they were gonna die, they should have just died in season 11, and I feel like their ending is just like, okay, whatever. So I'd say leave them be. And yeah, I kind of agree with basically what everyone's saying about Daryl. Kill him off, or like kill him off. But I feel like they could choose between Daryl, Michonne, or Rick, to be honest, to kill off.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna end the stream now. You guys can keep talking if you want here on Discord. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I hope you all had a great Christmas, and I hope you all have a great New Year's. By the way, I'm not going to be streaming for a few weeks. It's going to be a few weeks before I stream again. And thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, guys, have a great New Year's. Talk to you all later.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
Ciao, ciao.
All right. Bye. And now I'm going to end the stream.